It is showtime, showtime, showtime. Let me turn up my monitor here. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I'm going to turn this up to, there we go. Okay, cool, cool. I moved my microphone and I think this one might reach a little bit better. Put it like this. Cool, cool. Everybody, welcome. Welcome to the OCD Mikey Hi-Fi Guys show. The live stream where you can ask anything. You can actually call in and ask any questions. Tell me I'm an asshole. Do whatever you want and have a discussion. I am all about civil discussion. So you're, and I will take anybody's phone call. But if you're rude, I'll dump you. You got to be civil as well. And that is it. Not too hard of rules. I have weird shit. Honey, can you turn out the light in the main light? There we go. Okay, that'll kill the shadows. I got these damn lights, but I got daylight type lights, and I don't like them. I like the the darker ones, you know, the warmer ones. These are kind of like specimen headlights. Hang on, Joe. Jeleni, can you come here? Hello, hello. Check out that microphone. That's a good ass microphone right there. It's a good ass microphone. It's called a Neumann. Can you flip on that other light now? Since I turned out the overhead lights, I got to turn on my main. There we go. Okay, so now we're in business. Cool. So tonight I'm gonna try something for the first time, you guys, and I'm gonna do it with you. I figured, what the hell? Look what I got. Berry lemonade, 10 milligrams of THC. I have no idea what I'm in for, but it's fully legal, and I bought it at the store. So I don't know if I dare drink the whole thing, but maybe I'll take a couple sips, see what happens. Next thing you know, Mikey's tripping while he's giving the live stream. I don't know that might be entertaining. Anyways, okay, so anyone can like the stream before it starts. The cool kids are doing it. There you go. Look at Chaz in there, man. Way to go, brother. Thumbs up, all y'all. Should be 35 thumbs is up is right now. Zig a dig dig. What's up, brother? You still haven't answered if we're riding scoots to the show, man. Also, hey, Mikey plus Tribe. What's up, man? What's happening, Dave? How are you? This is our Bakersfield, California chapter head checking in. The guy who drives a motorcycle with a Corvette engine on it. Tom Clark, what's up, buddy? Checking in from Portland, our Portland chapter. How do you call someone an asshole without being rude? Well, that's true. Okay, so you don't have to say that word. You could say, I think you're full of malarkey, you know, and then we can take it up that way. Hope Tribe is doing well. Yeah, everybody's good. Shane, our Geelong, Australia chapter checking in. Ziggy Shytown, go Elon Musk. Dude, I guess it's time to buy that shit, right? It's but I don't know. Short term, it's not that crazy. I mean, over the last year, it's gone down. But you know how the stock market is, man. If you're not man enough to play, if you're man enough to play in the market, then fucking don't cry to me about your losses in the market, because that's what the market's all about. It's a gamble, and what goes up must come down. What goes down, you eventually comes back up. And there's no way I think Elon is cooked. I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think his companies are going anywhere. You know, it's just the way the market goes, man. It goes up, it goes down. Lighting is a little too bluish. Yeah, I know, man. This is supposed to be daylight. It's 6,500 temp. You know, I'm like, little too. I like it a little cooler. I like 3,500. Good evening, tribe. What's up? Dan checking in from Chi-Town, Evanston, Illinois. Yo, David Gilden checking in from Dallas area. He is our tribe Cora player. And by the way, David Gilden will be playing live for us at the show. I said the room 1430. Avant-Garde and Angela Lisi, and American Sound. So come to room 1430 Saturday, 1 hour before the show closes. And David will grace us with his skill and his skill and artistry. And David is got records out. He is a known one of the few Americans that plays the 21 string kora from Africa. And he is an accomplished player. And we're going to be able to hear him live. So it's going to be pretty cool. AMSR, Mikey. Yeah, that's right. AMSR is so nasty, man. It's gross, dude. It's like, oh, yuck. With that beer, I'll bet this session ends with Cheetos. It's not a beer. It's berry lemonade, and there's no alcohol in it. Let's crack it. I'll give it a first taste. Tastes like berry lemonade. North High Tonics. I guess they're trying to outlaw this shit in Georgia. They're saying that people, if you drink one of these, you're impaired and that you shouldn't drive or something like that. But I guess can't they get you for being high? You know, like isn't it called intoxicated while driving? Like not hammered while driving, but whatever, under the influence. Flying high on hi-fi and THC tonight. We'll see, man. I don't partake in any of the herbals, anymore. This is me stepping out, man, and I'm doing it with you guys because I figure I'm in good hands. You guys can watch over me if I start drifting. You guys can keep me back and bring me back to earth. AP Mastering made a video discussing Dacs, and he states all Dacs are transparent, and you would not tell the difference between them. A testing poll provided the results. Your thoughts? Yeah, my thoughts are that I don't agree with that. Yeah, that's absolutely not true. We do the listening test here all the time. In fact, if you go into, I'm going to turn this up a little bit more. I want a little more grab on it. You can go into my videos. If you go into my older videos, you'll see where I compare, and you can easily hear the difference between them. It's not hard, man. If you have a shitty clock versus a good clock, like an inaccurate, what he's probably going to say. And as a matter of fact, I contacted that dude because I saw his video, and I emailed him and said, hey, how would you like to hear about an audio file and the way we listen to Dacs and why your thing doesn't really make sense? He didn't want to do it. He said, you can make videos. Maybe I should send him a link to my videos where you can hear the difference. But you know what? I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and everybody can start their own religion. You know what I mean? And I sell Dacs for $26,000. It's my biggest selling DAC. And most people think that's crazy. That's nuts. Why would people spend that money? Well, the people that are buying this have tried tons of Dacs, all the different kinds. They name everything they've had. And my DAC stops them searching. The playback design's MPDA. It's not mine. It's Andreas's. But it stops people. It gets them off the roller coaster. It's the last DAC they ever buy. They understand what I'm saying, that when I say it's the last DAC you'll ever buy, I'm not just being a salesman, that I'm actually being honest. And so, if you wish to live in a world where, no audio really makes a difference and no DAC makes a difference, it's your world. Do whatever you want. Live in whatever world you want. However, I'm a dealer, right? And I have a return policy. So like if people bought that DAC and it didn't completely obliterate what they have sonically, they can send it back and get all their money back. And knock on wood, I haven't had one sent back ever. People call me and thank me. And quite honestly, there's more demand than we can make. Those DACs are sold out all the time. I have mine left. I just upgraded mine, so I have one left, mine, that I'll swap out and put the new one in that has the analog input, so I can put my master tape straight to the DAC and it'll just play it analog, right? And then I can play the same shit on streamer so that you guys can hear the difference between master analog tape, which is the best, supposedly, right? And digital streaming through my DAC. And I think we'll have some revelations, shall we say. So it'll be fun. Hello, Mikey and Tribe. Mikey, how do I get a pair? Isn't it great how I've learned to decipher what you guys write? It's like learning children speaking. I know what people mean. Hello, Mikey and Tribe. Mikey, how do I get a pair of 10-foot speaker cables from you going to Hawaii? You go to my website and just type in your stuff. I mean, you should be able to get it to Hawaii. I mean, tell me if there's a problem ordering to Hawaii, but it shouldn't be a problem, man. I'm pretty sure it's the same shipping cost as continental United States. I mean, same with Puerto Rico and U.S. Virgin Islands. So just go on the website 11 Stereo and buy it there. It is right here. Give a thumbs up, man. 77 people, thumbs up. Give me a like. Thank you. 11 Stereo is the website. You call me via phone. I don't answer emails. Okay, I don't answer emails, especially emails from people that say I'm not into phone calls. Well, guess what? I'm not into emails, so I'm going to ignore you. And so I have a person that reads them and just sifts through them, and anybody that contacts me, if you don't put in phone number, you need to put a phone number in your email, and then you might wait a week before I get to you because I don't check my emails every day. And then I'll call you back. But if you don't put a phone number, then my person will ask you for one, and then I'll call you back. But if you're like one of these people that just can't talk during the day or has to email, good luck with that. Good luck with that. You need to call my ass. And my phone number is right here, 415-484-5121. 415-484-5121. I will be at the Dallas show. So anybody in Dallas that wants to say hello, just call me on this number and you can say hello. I'll meet you. Oh, I'm drinking more of this shit. I got to be careful. What does it say on it? THC 10 milligrams, 0.03 THC sourced from hemp, from USA hemp. So I don't know. I just don't trust edibles and drinkables, man. Next thing you know, you're, off in the weeds. Okay, where are we? Here we go. Zig. The weather is usually shit during Expona. I know, huh? That's true, but it should be warming up. I think it's going to be a hot summer. It's about half what it was 3 months ago. Oh God, you're triggering my mind. I don't know. I don't know to what you refer. His cars are getting cooked. Oh, you're talking about Tesla stock. Yeah, okay. 3 months ago? It's at 240. It's up today, $4 or something like that. I thought I saw, let's see, Tesla stock. Tesla, it's up $10. It's up 4.68%, almost 5% today. Let me go year to date. It is down 37%. year to date. So let's see. And you said 3 months ago. So I will look at 6 months. It is down 8%. I'm sorry, 3.3% in the past 6 months. So it's definitely not half what it was 3 months ago. It's down 3% in the past 6 months. It was only $8 less than it is right now. It's $235.86. It was $8 less 6 months ago. So that's not the one. If you had it a year, well, shit, the past year, okay, over the past year, you're still up 37.67% over the last year. So you're not even down if you've had this for a year. 5 years, you're up 727%. You're still up 727% if you bought. What are people crying about? What are people fucking crying about? Oh my God. 1 month, it's down 34% in the past month. Okay. So in 1 month, it's down 34%. That's what people are crying about. They're crying about 34% in the last month. But if you've had it 6 months, you're still down 3%. If you've had it 1 year, you're still up 37%. So it's for new buyers. New people that bought the stock recently are bumming. People that bought it a year ago are still up 35%. So that's what's happening. His cars are getting cooked. Yeah, how about that? By the left. So the people, the peaceful, what are they? The party of unity or the party of tolerance is lighting shit on fire and being frickin' terrorists. That's funny. Fort Worth, that's where David is. Fort Worth, the stockyards. Hey, David, do you know where to get a cowboy hat? You know, maybe I should get a freaking cowboy hat in Texas, man. I think I should. I should go out Thursday and get my ass a cowboy hat and wear it the whole freaking show. A big ass cowboy hat. A big, like one of those, you know, really nice ones. What are they made out of? Felt or like mole hair or something? What are my brother knows. You know, there's cowboy hats out there that are like $5,000 and $10,000. They're like the high end cowboy hats for the oil guys. I should get boots too. Hey, Mikey, what's up? Nikki, good to see you, brother. Snow expected overnight in Chicagoland area. That sucks. I hate it for you. I hate every minute of it. Have you ever wondered how to answer someone when they ask how long a piece of string is? I haven't, but I'm doing it right now. How long a piece of string is? How long is it? Lay it out and let's measure it. My first answer would probably be, how long do you need it? You know, interesting. Okay, 10 milligrams is a smaller dose. Most edibles are 5 or 10. Thanks, Nick. Dr. Nick here. Dr. Nick, the THC doctor. Okay, can I drink more? I think I'm about halfway full. I don't feel anything yet, but I think it takes a little while, doesn't it? It's twice as long as half its length. Of course it is. That's awesome. That's like, what's the other thing? What? No, that's not. No. About 35 to 45 minutes from now. Wow. What? That's how long it's going to take? Hi-Fi. Exactly. That's right. Which hotel are you staying at? Ramada or something like that. I was going to stay in the Anatole or whatever, but they know it's hi-fi people, so they jack the prices up. It's ridiculous. You go walking distance away, it's a third the price. It's so funny. Just a total joke, you know, and then parking is like $30 a day or some bullshit. They're going to get you every way they can, man. Every way they can. Oh my God, hi-fi guys, $1 million systems. Okay, jack, triple the prices on everything. AP mastering is a fool. Thank you. A poll from listening on YouTube. Okay, what a joke. All right, yeah, I mean, exactly. You can clearly hear the difference between Dacs. I just tried a Meitner and it destroys chord. There you go, Rob. I've got a Meitner for sale for anybody that wants MA3. I'm taking on the MA3. I got the MA3i and I got an MA3. MA3 I will let you guys have at a great price, and if you want to, you can upgrade it. What about power supplies and Dacs, analog output stages, clock accuracy? All these things make a massive difference to how the DAC sounds. Absolutely. We all know this, but unfortunately our friend does not at this point, or maybe he's just asking. So yeah, don't listen to what AP mastering. You know, if you're one of my tribe, I will advise you and say, you know, he comes from the pro audio world. He doesn't know what we do. He has no idea. He's just an outside naysayer. And there's plenty of them. Nothing wrong with it. We just ignore them. The AA DAC has made such an improvement in my listening experience. Look at that. I actually hear the artist's music and not my system. It relaxes me because I'm not thinking about whether the sound is right. Exactly, man. That's it. So tell me, did it, how was it immediately, or did it take time to break in? I heard they have a little break-in period. Let me know, Mark. Thanks, buddy. Shane has heard about 300 DACs in his life. That's a lot, brother. And he owns an MPD8 and he's not looking anymore. Exactly. That's what happened to me. You know what? The MPD8 shifted the whole way I listen to music. In fact, it was the first piece and that I put into my system. Well, the only piece. It changed the trajectory. It changed the trajectory of my audio binge, my audio, neuroses, because I had accepted that I was always going to be upgrading. That's what I thought it was I thought it was par for the course. I thought, you know what, in this hobby, I'm just always going to be switching stuff. I accepted it. I accepted this is a hobby where it can always get better. That's what I thought. And I'll always be seeking something because and when I put in the Playback Designs MPD8 into my rig, it connected me with the music on a level that I'd never been connected to, on an emotional kind of connection to the music level that blindsided me. I just did not know what it was. In fact, it took me 2 weeks to realize what was going on. I could not describe it. People would say, "What does it sound like?" And I'm like, it sounds better. Well, what does it sound like? Well, I couldn't put my finger on it. I'm like, how do I describe this? I was sitting there, every other DAC that I had. Remember, I've been doing this 5 years or whatever, and trying different DACs the whole time. And every time I would listen to a new DAC, in my mind, I'm going, how am I going to describe this to my viewers? Like, what are these? What is happening right now that I can discern as different from the previous DAC? How am I going to compare this for my viewers? And the playback, I could not find words. I'm like, how is it that it's totally better, but I can't figure out a way to describe it? And what it was, and I realized this, is it was not something in my mind. It was not something in the ears that I was hearing. It was something in the heart that I felt. So it was a feeling that I got from the DAC, not a sound. And I was listening with my ears. I knew something had changed. But when I tried to describe it in an intellectual sort of logic and brain thing, it didn't compute. When I thought of it in how does this feel, that's when that was okay. Now the rubber hits the road. This is a feeling thing. This is not a brain thing. And I'm more connected to the music. I'm more relaxed. My anxiety is freaking gone. Because normally when I listen, I have audio anxiety because something isn't right nearly all the time. There's always something jacked up. Too much bass, not enough mids, too dark, boomy bass, just so many different things that go on when you listen to different rigs, and they're distracting and they trigger analysis in your mind. Well, when I put the MPD8 in, that went away. It was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I called Big John over to listen. I brought my girlfriend in. I brought Ken over. I brought Isaac over. I brought different people, my local hi-fi people, and they listened and they all said the same thing. Yeah, beats your APL hi-fi, which I had at the time. And the APL hi-fi beat my Rockna Wave Dream signature balanced. So It was I couldn't believe it. I got off the merry-go-round. I mean, it's all of a sudden my brain was like, hey, it's all good. The sound is sorted. Now you can get into the music. And then all my thoughts after that were music centric, no longer gear centric, which is a complete relief. It is such a relief. And I know 26K is, can be a lot for some folks, but some folks buy watches that are 26K. Some folks buy, oh boy, Tesla stock that is 26K and it loses money, right? I don't know. It's all relative. If you want the last DAC, if you take all the DACs that you will buy trying to seek the ultimate DAC and how much you lose every time you resell, you will realize maybe I just go deep and buy one for 26 and never look back. And besides, if you don't, it's guaranteed for you to say, I think it's worth every penny or all your money back, no restock fee. And if you change your mind, I had one guy that went, that had something happen with his ear and he lost hearing in one ear, or he got tinnitus where it was like aggravating him. So he couldn't listen because it aggravated him. So I bought his DAC back and I gave him, he bought it for 26. I gave him 24, this was years later. So you never lose more than 20% with my stuff. I have a rule that you'll always get at least 80%. So how can you go wrong? So anyways, yeah, the MPD8 is the shit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. How long can a DAC last? I thought it was a few years. No way, brother. I've got DACs that are 25 years old that still kick ass, like old Wadias. I've got an old MBL. These things are 30 years old. Reason I ask is I thought a DAC is basically a computer, so therefore it has an infinite life of a finite life of a few years. Now, it doesn't do anything even close to as complex as what a computer does. It's a very simple computer, and it's just got a very simple routine and very simple algorithm on an FPGA maybe, or it's just a chip. In which case, if it's just a chip or an R2R, if I understand correctly, there's no CPU on it, it is an FPGA, if anything. And so it would be a very simple computer, if anything. But no, they definitely don't last a few years. They last forever. As far as I've never seen a DAC just cook and go bad. There's no moving parts on it, A 10-foot pair of cables won't reach Hawaii. Ha 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 ha. What are you, human? Maybe. Oh, telephone. Donut and telephone. Oh, CDs, telephone, thumbs up. Okay. Trying to read it. If I was going to make a change to cables, which will give the biggest improvements? Inner power cables. For sure. First one, power cables. Second one, speaker cables. Third one, interconnects. First place, DAC. Second place, amplifier. Third place, power conditioner or preamp. For power cords. Sound of the DAC is totally dependent on the clocks. DSP, yep, the type of conversion and the output stage of the DAC. Yeah, totally. So you can have an R2R that could sound different than, and if you put a shitty power supply on it, it's going to sound different. An erroneous clock, it's going to sound different for sure. I think it peaked around $480. Yeah, and from the lows, it's nearly half. Yeah, $480 was years ago. That was yeah, you should have been on that ride. It was down. It started out at like $19. That's when y'all smartasses should have bought. You should have bought when it was $19 and then rode it up to 480 and then sold and then bought your damn Porsche Turbo S. My nose is running, man. What are my thoughts on divorce pairs? Oh, okay. Ba-dum-boomps. Okay, my thoughts are that it's a copy of an audio note. I don't think the guy innovates anything. I think they're copy speakers, Me Too speakers, nothing special. It just so happens that he's friends with people in the media and he lives in New York City. So he's got his cohorts that work in the media. So he's done a good job at marketing and getting his little hipster crew to follow him. That's my thought on the speakers. They do look somewhat plain. Wooden box and 2 drivers, nothing special. They'll cost you $6,000 for a damn little, on your desk thing. Can't be very heavy compared to something like Wilson or Fisher. Not even close to Fisher and Fisher. I had the $6,000 Devores at a guy's house right next to the Fisher and Fisher for $4,500. No contest. Not even close. Not even close. The guy is selling a fantasy. He's selling a fantasy. He's selling a dream. And he loves bananas. The more shares they have, the more they have lost. Yeah, well, that's a bitch, isn't it? Yeehaw, Cowboy. Oh, man, I want to yeehaw totally when I get out to Texas, man. Go to the stockyards and go. I'm not going to ride a bull. Maybe. I don't even think I'd do the 2-step either. I couldn't. The line dance, man, they got that shit down, dude. Them Cowboys got that shit down, and they do it all perfectly together. I don't know that. I'd look like a fool. Their car sales in Europe and around the rest of the world are tanking at the moment. Sweet. That's awesome, man. Time to buy. Tanking is good, man. People act like tanking is bad. It's like the market tanking is freaking awesome, man. That's when we buy. That's when us that have been sitting here ready to pounce, us folks that are liquid, that don't have all our shit wrapped up in the market, we wait for this kind of shit and then we pounce. We work it in the reverse. So tanks are good for Mikey. Watching. I've been buying up crypto and buying shit right now. Buying investments. Time to invest, boy, when that shit's down. Beaver hat is best. Beaver. There you go, Mark. Okay, so that's the thing. Of course it would be. It had the oils. It would just shed water. That's what my brother taught me that I didn't know about cowboy hats, is that they're for the rain. I was like, duh, totally makes sense. It's a perfect hat for the rain. It just like rolls right off and goes off at the back, and it's like keeps it off your face. I'm like, totally makes sense to me. Stetson, yes. Wool felt. Steel Jason Thunder. Oh, dude, that shit ain't a Stetson. That's like a wrinkle. That's a folded up hornback devil. I don't know what it is, but it's not like one of those. Yeah, I'm talking about not like that's a New Orleans. He's got a New Orleans cowboy hat. I'm talking about like a Texan. I would never wear it here though. It would be fun while I was there to wear it. Maybe I can see if a cowboy shop would let me borrow one and say, hey, I'll hand out your cards. People are going to ask about this shit because I'm famous, man. Famous people always want shit free. Somebody asked me today, well, could you sell to, what about T-Pain? She was talking about somebody in, the Atlanta people, rappers or whatever. I'm like, dude, they don't want to pay shit ever for anything. They just want to, because they want it given to them or they want it half off. It's like, forget you guys. I don't need your shit. Texas size 10-gallon hats. That is correct. Boots before hat. I've got boots already, bro. You should see my boots. You guys want to see my boots? It'll take me a second to get them, but they're badass. They're great. Hold on. I'm going to get them. Hold on. Okay. Mikey went and grabbed his shit kickers. Okay, so check these out. In typical Mikey style, they're not going to be some normal ass cowboy boots, right? Look at these puppies, dude. Look at these things. Got the square toes. It's green, like off green suede. And look at the cacti agave right there. Cacti. I think they're Justins. I don't even know what they are. I think they're Justins. They are Justin. They're Justin boots. But look, the red bead up the center. Whoops. There we go. Look at that, man. There's some shit kickers right there, boy. But I don't think I'll bring them. If I was a real badass, I'd have some Lucchese's, some Gators. But you know what? I would never wear cowboy boots. I just wouldn't, man. They're too like slippery and weird, and yeah. Someday I gotta outgrow sneakers though. Takes a few hours. Oh, Teddy's boy's here. It takes a couple hours for this shit to hit. Is that what you're trying to tell me? He probably knows. Ted knows. Teddy, who's the lady in your post lately, man? You got a little lady friend. Is that baby mama, or is that who? Tell us more, man. You look happy, brother. I'm glad to see it. Dang. You know it. Yes, sir. How many ears does Captain Kirk have? 3, a left ear, a right ear, and a final front ear. Oh, yeah. That was a score, dude. I love that one. That's solid. That's a solid dad joke. Like that is as good as shitty jokes get. That is great. And a final front ear. Oh, that's great. Well, you're grinning like a Cheshire cat, so I think the drink is working. I don't know. He said it an hour. I mean, I don't feel stoned. I know that much because I know what that feels like, and I don't feel stoned. I'm just happy to talk to you guys. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Lots of car manufacturers in big trouble. Lots of layoffs. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Where? What countries? Good evening. Power just came back on after 9 hours. Where the hell are you, Sam? Good to be on here. Where are you, man? Where the hell's power going out? Inquiring minds want to know. Cheers, Mikey and Tribe. Cheers, Sam. Sam doesn't rock 9. That Sam rocks 10, dude. That's right. I came from the pro audio world as well, being a sound engineer, and I know that much. It is kicking in. Is that what you think? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't feel stoned or whatever, you know. Do external linear power supplies get hot like Class A, B amps, or maybe even hotter like Class A? It depends on the how well it's made, how efficient it is, but typically linears are going to be hotter than switching mode, I think. I don't know. They can, yeah. Power supplies can get warm. Absolutely. The MPDA is the most real sounding DAC. That's it. It sounds more real. And that's what I tell people. Like, how do you describe it? It's just more real. It's more lucid. It's like, you know, when you have a lucid dream, you're dreaming, and then those ones that are really real, that's what MPDA is like. It's like just really very present and real and alive. It's like it breathes life into the music, like breath of life. They should call it breath of life. Been in countless tracking rooms with recording artists, and it's the closest reproduction I've come across yet. Yes, I agree, Shane. DAC had an initial break-in improvement after about 1 to 2 hours, but it took about 50 hours before it became the Orgasmatron. Thank you. Yes, that is very good thing for people to understand is when you buy things, you know, most of the time, and especially if they're brand new, you cannot make a judgment. That's why I laugh at these YouTube reviewers that review shit, and in like a week you have like 3 different speakers, and you're like, there's no way that dude put the speaker in for like 1 or 2 days, and then he's making a review on it and then on to the next one. You know, it's the same with Dacs, man. And if you think about 50 hours, okay, you know, that's a lot. That's a lot of time. The playback design stack takes 500. I typically say 100 for anything. 100 is strict, is just rule of thumb, you know. And if you think about it, that's, you know, 5 days, you know, 24/7 basically. And if it's 500 hours, what is that? 50 days, you know? So 50 days is a month and a half, you know, basically. Hey, Steve. Shame the MPD-8 is beyond mere mortals to buy. Maybe on the second market if you're lucky. You'd be extremely lucky because they never make the second market. And if they are in the secondhand market, okay, the 26 Dacs sells for like 19 on the secondhand. They do not get half priced like other Dacs. They're way too desirable. Way too desirable. Excuse me. I got AMSR snot going on. It destroys 100K Dacs. And yeah, I mean, I had it up against an 80K. And it was a big difference. Currently buying Tesla. You know it, dude. Of course. Smart, dude. Buy the dips. That's right. You get stoked. It's like, woohoo, a tank. I'm buying. You know, I talked to a dude. There's a story behind Tesla stock. We were at the racetrack here in Atlanta, Road Atlanta, and we were there, and a dude drives in this badass GT2 RS. No, it was a GT3 RS. You know, just bad to the bone Porsche. And he gets out all by himself. He's kind of a younger dude. And we're like, dude, sweet car. We had just seen him. Like, this was when they were fresh. They had the shark louvers up on the front fenders on the inside by the hood. You know, we're like, wow, look at this thing. It's bad to the bone. This is like 4 years ago. And the guy was like, Tesla stock about this. We said, what? Give us some advice. We're kids. We're like, it was more than 4 years ago then. Well, whatever. My brother's like, if you can give us any advice, what would you give us? He said, buy Tesla stock. He said, Tesla stock bought this car. That's why when I used my example, I said, you'll buy your GT3. Actually, I said Turbo S. But you know, if you buy right, you do well. I mean, the same can happen with crypto right now. You know, crypto is basically like the beginning of the stock market. So if you could go back to the beginning of the stock market and buy stocks back then, think of how rich you'd be. Well, that's what crypto is. Nobody knows what it is. People are shy. They're not buying. I am, because I'm hedging on it. You know, it's like I could go buy a $25,000 watch, or I could buy $25,000 worth of crypto. Maybe you should stop by GR Research. I will for sure. It looks like Jay made a video where he was with Danny in Danny's house. Clearly, I'm not going to go to Danny's house. But if he's got balls at all, because he sure talks a big game, then he'll have a room at the show, wouldn't he? You know, wouldn't he? Wouldn't he? If he's so much talk and he's so great and he's done all this shit for everybody, I'm sure he would have a room, wouldn't he? To prove himself, to show us what he's working with. And I asked Jay in his video, I said, is Danny going to show us what he's cooking with? Let's see this boy put up, man, at the show. And we'll listen. And look, I'll tell you guys if it's great. I got no problem saying that Danny does a good job if I think it's great. He talks a big game, so I tease him about it because he's just a big talker, you know? And so I'll go and listen, and I'll let you guys know. And if it's great, I will say it's great. I give credit where credit is due. LOL, GR Research. Oh my God. Yeah, I know. And Danny gets on people's bad side because he's such a big mouth, you know, and he acts like he's speaker God. And it's like he's not. Muff hair. You're supposed to shave the muff hair, dude. Sales for Tesla are not tanking. They're gearing up for the Model Y Jupiter. Got you. Yeah, Ted would know, man. I trust him because he just bought a Tesla truck, Cybertruck. It's badass. Mikey, what do you say to someone who wants to see a speaker frequency response measurement before they buy? No one's ever said that. No one has ever said that. I don't sell to those people. No one's ever said that to me. They don't even ask sometimes, okay, like 2 buyers out of 10 will say, how low does it go? You know, and you know what my answer is? Low enough. Yeah. Specs are so misleading, and it's such an easy way to hustle you guys. I just make up spec. I can, you know, there's no governing body. So I can make up spec in order to sell to you. If you guys are hung up on spec, I can just make that shit up. And there's no governing body. There's nobody. I can make the test conditions extremely, you know, you don't like I could give you something super vague. Like I could say frequency response, 20 hertz to 20 or to 30K. And if I only say that, there's way too much. It doesn't tell you anything. Doesn't tell you anything. Doesn't tell you how I measured it. It doesn't tell you if it's down 3 or 6 or 9 or 12 dB on each end. It doesn't tell you any of that. So specs are really, I try and teach people on here, don't buy from spec. It's the stupidest way to buy because it's the easiest way for me to hustle you is to make up spec. It's just the oldest trick in the book. Remember, you go to those, sale at the convention center, stereos, $39, 2,000 watts. Remember those? And you go there and then you get this Chinese piece of shit that says 2,000 watts and it's $29 car amp or something, 2,000 watts. It's just that's how you hustle a dum-dum, right? I mean, you would look at that box and go, this box is made for a dumbass, wouldn't you? If you saw a $29 amp, at the swap meet that said 2,000 watts and it was a car amp or something, you'd go, that's made for an idiot to buy. Well, it's not much different when you're buying Chinese audio stuff that says all those great specs. It's not that different. You can lie on specs. Model Y sales will be off the charts when they are inventoried. I don't know how to relate to that, but I believe you. I thought we're here for audio. Nope, you were mistaken. We are here for whatever the hell we want to talk about. If it were up to me, we'd be talking about boobs and who knows, motorcycles and guns and shit. We can talk about audio, but I'm not going to bring it up. It's like audio is checked off my list. It's something I do. I'm here to avail myself in my opinion. I have finished audio, right? I sell it because I can recreate it for people that will get them across the line. My discussions are not about audio. In my real life, I don't discuss audio. Unless people call me up and they're asking questions, I answer them about audio, but otherwise, there's no discussions about audio. It's not interesting to me. It is something that is just crossed off the list. It is there is a audio system that everybody, if they're into music, should have. And there is a certain line to me that audio system needs to cross. And it is not tied to expense or a monetary amount. It is tied to a performance or a result. And that result needs to be magic, whether it's baby magic for $12,000 or whether it's overwhelming, dominating magic for $150,000. It's got to be magic. It has to have the it factor at whatever price it is. And I know how to provide it factor. And I seek out products that do that. And trust me, there are plenty of expensive products out there that do not pull it off. I get people that call me all the time and tell me about what they bought. And it's just, every day, I swear to God, every day I have one of the tribe members travels for business. Okay. And he's on the road like 200 days of the year, 250 days of the year. He goes to audio shops in every place he travels. He's all over the place and he sends me pictures nearly every day of the listening rooms in the audio systems. And he comments. And he sent me one today. Sounds like complete shit. It was Macintosh and PSP. Sounds like complete shit. I can't believe how shitty it sounds. And it's like a big room with this grandiose setup and all this kind of stuff. And see if I can pull some pictures here without. I guess I don't want to show the rooms because somebody might go, oh God, that's my local guy. And Mikey just bashed him, when I didn't bash at all. All I did was say my customer went there and he reported back that it sounded like shit. Here's a great example of just a retarded design, a Macintosh speaker design. Look how retarded that tweeter array is. Do you know what kind of comb filtering you get off a tweeter array like that, or a mid-range? It looks like it's got a soft dome tweeter in the middle and then mid-range is all around. Just ridiculous in the pursuit of trying to be different and trying to pull the wool over people that don't know good sound from bad sound, that are just going to go in there and be impressed with that because it looks different than the regular shit. And then they're going to go, it must be special because it looks different. And you're like, no, dude, that is on purpose to make people that don't know shit about audio fall for it because they don't ask it looks different. So they don't question anymore. Looks like more POD. What's that? Pissed off Democrats? Poor old Democrats? I don't know what it is. From Fort Worth, Texas. You know it. Fort Worth. Ostrich. Yeah, ostrich is cool. Not my thing, though. It looks like nipples. It's like nipple foot, you know. I'd much rather have gator or rattler. I used to have some Tony Lama rattlers, man. They were sick, Diamondback, and they were bad ass, dude. They got stolen with a bunch of shit one year from my roommates in San Diego when I was a little irresponsible asshole. Definitely stop by GR Research. Well, I will if there's a room there. Does he have a room? If he's got a room, I'll go by and I'll report. And if it's good, I'll say it. 5 years. You bought 5 years ago? Is that what you're saying? Oh, 5 years you've been with the woman? She's Korean? 안녕하세요. I love Korean food and I love Korean culture. I've been to Korea 3 times. I had a Korean girlfriend at one point. It's a long ass time ago. And I learned about the Korean culture from Simon Lee of April Music. You know Simon, Teddy. He's a good guy. December 17, 2024 was the peak for Tesla, 479.86. That's pretty killer, man. People should have sold. You should have sold at that point. Man, count your money. But some people probably bought in December 10th, you know, or some shit like that. They bought on the way up. They're buying on the way up going, oh no, they buy at the wrong time. That's the thing about the market, dude. You can't get pissed at it because you don't know when it's going up or down unless you're insider trading, which is how I think the stock market is rigged anyways. I think these guys all know what the fuck's going on. I mean, if you looked at even crypto, you look at the line and it's like 0.03 and then it'll go to $143 and then back down the next day. Like one day it's at $143 from like zero. You're like, that is the biggest obvious hustle. I don't know how they're making it work, but somebody's hustling and then they're leaving somebody else holding the bag. It's ugly. It's gambling, man. And it's like gambling with the mob, you know, sometimes you're going to get hurt. Linear power supplies are less efficient, therefore more heat produced. Yes, correct. Grins and giggles. Go with it, Mikey. You know it, buddy. Why not? Man, you're starting to look happier. I think the effect is kicking in. I don't feel it yet, man. Let's see. I think I'm at half a can. It tastes pretty good. It's kind of berry lemonade, you know. Hey, tribe. Hey, everybody. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Yeah. I'm so happy to be part of the live stream. Enjoy your music, tribe. Right on, Kenny. You guys got to go to Kenny's Hi-Fi Down Under. Same with Shane. Shane's channel is an Aussie audiophile. You can see Shane does reviews, and Kenny does entertaining and singing and dancing with him and Deborah, his wife. And Kenny's a trip, man. You got to check these guys out. These are the Hi-Fi Tribe Down Under. And I'm going to go visit those guys, and we're going to make videos. And I'm going to eat, I don't know what, kangaroo probably. Tesla isn't profitable, so stock is overvalued. Yeah, I'll bet you that's a common story in the stock market. You know, and I'll bet you that's manipulated. What are the chances? What are the chances the billionaires are rigging the game? You know, what do you think the chances are? Hey, Shane, Kenny shouting out. George. Okay, Mike, now you're talking about autos. However, what do you believe electric guitars and trucks? What do I believe? I don't want one. Okay, my true feeling is you're changing one earth depleting resource for another. You're trading whatever, shale oil or whatever, or you know, crude oil. You're trading that for lithium, right? So either way, you fuck the atmosphere. So this whole thing about having electric guitars and not electric guitars, this whole thing about driving electric guitars around in Wonderland, maybe it is working. This whole thing about having electric cars is like, to me, I think it's a farce. Okay, what do I like about it? I like that they're quiet and smooth and instant torque. Okay, what I don't like about it is that it's quiet and smooth. I love a rumbly car that makes a lot of noise. There's nothing like a wicked Corvette with a gnarly pipe on it, you know, and you feel like you're driving a NASCAR around. Like that shit is exciting. Same with the Ducati or a Harley. So electric cars and trucks, to me, it's too, I don't adopt early technology when it comes on because I feel like I'm waiting for the batteries to get light. I'm waiting for 500 or 600 mile, or 1,000 mile charges where I don't have to worry about charge stations and shit like that. So to me, it's too premature for me to buy electric. I think, I get the idea. I still don't think it's totally solid. What I think is much more solid is a hydrogen car. That makes a lot more sense to me. Or a solar car. Okay. As soon as you have to plug into the grid, you lose me. You're still dependent on some other asshole to sell you some shit in order to use the vehicle that you just paid for. So until cars are completely independent of reliance on somebody else, like a pure solar car, in to yesterday, if you find me a pure solar car, if you find me a hydrogen car that just you fill that shit with water, okay, I'm in yesterday. But when you tell me I have to have a car that plugs into a grid, Tesla branded charging stations or whatever, and I have to pay for electricity that runs off fossil fuel anyways, how do you think they get the electricity? Okay, if you're lucky, you got nuclear, or hydroelectric or whatever. But most of the time, they're fossil fuel run anyways. So it's just it's a hustle to me. Make me a car that I don't need you for, and then it'll be groundbreaking to me. Otherwise, I'm just buying gas guzzlers. I like the feeling of a gas car. Maybe I'd change. Let's do a show in my room after hours. Gerald R. Ford Suite. Sure, man. You going to bring the dancing girls? We can do that. We can do that, bro. Is it your room? Is it Scott Walker's room? I hope it's your room. Tell me it's a synergistic research only room, and I will be happy. Not to blast anybody that's selling your stuff, but I just like you better. Hey Kenny, what is up? Mark and Moidle, would you recommend a change in power cord for the AA DAC or upgrade to the Meitner 3 you have? Would either be a noticeable improvement? I'll have to do a direct comparison to be able to answer you. The MA3i is brand new, and I did not compare it side by side with the AA DAC. So I will have to, it's a big difference in change, right? One is $500 power cord. The other is a $5,000 upgrade or $6,500 or something like that. Right. So it's a big difference. But I can let you know. All I know right off the cuff is that the Meitner has a streamer on board. So whatever streamer you have, you could sell, and recoup cash on. Aussie, oi, oi, oi. There you go, man. Those people don't buy shit. I believe it. I saw Danny Ritchie using car batteries in his main audio setup. What is that about? It's about DIY and saving money is what it is, because it's funny because Jay sells Strom Tank, which is a battery, sort of thing. So what he's doing is he's doing what these battery power supplies are doing, and he's doing it because he knows how to do it. He knows how to just put a battery in there, a car battery in there, And so what is that about? Okay, so what that is about is it's about providing DC to your audio equipment and taking the AC power out of it. Okay, so if you see if you have seen like Dacs and stuff that have power supplies with little barrel plugs, and you put a wall wart or something, and then you plug the little barrel plug into the back of the DAC. Okay, he's doing the same thing, but instead of that little linear power supply providing the 5 or the 12 volts, he's using a car battery to provide the 12 volts or 5 volts, maybe if it's a marine battery. I don't know. I think those are 12 too. Either way, batteries have their own problems. Okay, so when you add a battery, you drop the chance of AC ripple or whatever, but you gain something else. And I can't remember what it is. God, I wish someone explained it the other day, and they told me exactly what the problem with batteries is. They give something else. They don't have AC ripple, which is the problem with AC. there's something about batteries that are, so you give up one thing, but you get another thing. So that's what he's doing. He's not using the power supply. It's like disabling the AC power supply in your amp and then just feeding the circuits the voltage that they need, so maybe, a preamp might have like looks like he's got two of them there. You could have a couple rails probably coming off a 12 volt. I don't know. We'd have to ask a engineer. Batteries have less ripple. Yeah, like no ripple as far as I know, because it's not AC. Do you ever find that streaming songs from around 70s or 80s and older, they sound noticeably quieter than modern songs? No, I don't relate it to the 70s or 80s music, because if you listen to 80s rock, like Rat, Twisted Sister, White Snake, whatever, any of the Van Halen, any of that shit, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, all that shit is not soft. It's not noticeably quieter. It's louder. It's pushed into the red. So certain things like Pink Floyd was quieter. You listen to The Wall and you have to turn that shit way up. Well, that means they recorded it well with a lot of dynamic range, meaning the soft stuff and the loud stuff, there's a big expansive difference between the soft stuff and the loud stuff, which gives you this greater range of tonal density or amplitude, right? If you push everything into the red, like Motley Crue or some of that 80s rock, whatever, you're not giving any dynamic range. It's all pushed that high. So there's no room to go between quiet or soft because it's all at this really pushed into the red. If you know what I mean, you're compressing it up into the top. If you do it quiet, you get a bigger expansive range. So it's better if you want to do swells of music, starting from quiet to building and getting more, and then boom, smash, and having this boom, this wave go, this amplitude just go spike, you can do that when you start it low. But if you have it pushed up, you can't do any of that creative mixing or that creative musicianship. And that's as I understand it. Okay. I don't claim to be an engineer. I don't claim to be a studio guy or anything, but as I understand it, and I'm just another bloke. I agree with Mark on the break-in period on the AA DAC. Okay, so Charles, another owner of the AA DAC who loves it and agrees that it needs break-in. By the way, are the pro audio guys to blame for all the high resolution BS recordings, which in my opinion add distortion to playback? No, I think a lot of times it is what the labels want, not necessarily, for pop music, it's played not in hi-fi. It's played in car radios and on iPods and whatever, JBL tune box thingies, so you make it for that shit. And actually the recordings now that they make for the radio are different than the ones that they make. Cause I think with the advent of the iPod and all that shit and Beats headphones, probably, music got stronger in the bass, which it didn't used to. It used to be really weak in the bass. Now it's got wicked bass, even the pop stuff. Yeah, they do when you have to charge them up with your alternator. Yeah, exactly. Well, he's got to have a charger. And, that's a good point too, is, yeah, that's really funny. What Shane's saying is when those things go into a charge state, now you've got the AC on the battery. So you have to do what's called a stepped bank if you're going to do it right. Maybe there's another name for it, but you have two batteries and one gets charged while the other one is powering the preamp. And then when this one's charged up and this one's worn down, they switch so that it's never being powered by a battery that's being charged. Because if you have a single battery and then it goes down to a certain point and then the charger clicks on, now you're getting all the noise of the charger. Now you've got AC noise. So that's what Shane's saying. He's just like, I said, do they have a problem of their own? Yeah, they do when you have to charge them up with the alternator, which is funny. Like he's talking about on the car. The 70s and 80s were before the compression. Okay, war started. That's what you're hearing. Were before the compression. Well, 80s was during compression. Wasn't it like late 80s, early 90s? Aussie audiophile, would you recommend Fisher and Fisher 370? That's one for you, Shane. Evening, guys. What's up, Larry? Welcome. I like Fisher and Fisher speakers. I'd have no problems recommending them. I'm just not an AMT fan, but Fisher and Fisher is the best implementation for AMT. Yeah, I'm a little the opposite. I've always liked AMTs. But Shane's correct. They have to be implemented correctly. An AMT incorrectly implemented can be murderous. But I've been lucky to hear well integrated AMTs, and in the Fisher and Fisher, they are more smooth than you've ever heard. If a Fisher and Fisher speaker is not smooth to you, it's not the speaker. Let me put it that way. Okay, Mike, but this is what we were all told about frequency response on loudspeakers and electronics. What were we all told? Didn't the last thing you asked me was about electric cars? Go back, George. Give me some context, brother. What is what we were all told about frequency response and electronics? Yeah, it's not a perfect science. It's not measured the same. And unless you give other descriptors, you can't say 20 to 20. That means nothing. You need to tell me how you got that. How did you measure it? And then that tells me everything, about that 20 and 20. But if you just say 20 to 20, it actually honestly means nothing. And if you ask a manufacturer, what's the frequency response of the speaker, and they just say something as stupid as 20 to 20, you need to turn around and walk the hell away. You need to, because that is somebody trying to market to you, and they're talking to you like you're a dumbass and you don't know anything. Okay. That's the kind of answer that is. 20 to 20 is an answer for his dumb shit. Okay. So don't accept that answer. If people say that, realize someone's playing me for a dumb shit right now, or that guy is a dumb shit who's telling me this and he's just parroting it back. Come on, Mikey's nipples and boots. Life don't get better than that. No doubt, bro. Good point. Point taken. That Macintosh mid array is called a diaper alignment. Yeah, totally. It looks like a diaper, doesn't it? It squeezes down and then folds in half. You don't sell, you hold. And then when it's worth several times what you paid for it, you borrow against it and you don't pay capital gains. Ah, there you go. Look at Ted with the plan. There you go. That's how it works. Look at Teddy sharing some 411. Hey, Mikey and Tribe, had a blizzard here. Yuck. Damn, man. Where? What up, Mikey? Greetings from Asheville. What is up? Is this Frank the Tank? What were some of your favorite Dead or Garcia band shows you saw back in the day? Garberville, Jerry on the river, on the Eel River, for sure. Jerry at the Warfield. Jesus, I totally remember Jerry at the Warfield. I had been away from the Dead for a while, and I saw my buddy Peter there, this old Vietnam vet that I had toured with years before, like 3 years before. And I had been to LA since I toured with him and been to the clubs and danced and whatever. I had a different way of dancing after dancing to the disco music, right? The house music. And I came back and I was dancing to the Dead during Jerry Band. And Peter comes up and smacks me and goes, "Dance like a hippie, goddammit." This is what the old hippie told me. The old Nam vet. Dance like a hippie, damn it. He didn't like my modern moves, man. He didn't like my disco moves. I go cuckoo, man. When I go to shows and if they're hitting me right, I'm going bye-bye. You're going to see Mikey leave and go out to where I can dance. I'm not going to stay in some chair in the aisle and just like move my head and my shoulders. No, give me some room, baby, because Mikey got to spin. GR Research, from what I heard, will not have a room. Come on, dude. How do you not have a room, you cheapskate mother effer? Pay some freaking money and go to a room. It just, to me, it's like they're afraid. They're afraid someone's not going to like it. They're not willing to take the risk. Put your balls on the line, big daddy. If you're a big daddy, put your balls out. I'm not going to say be a man, right? Because that's kind of stupid. I got to have something better than that. Prove yourself, fool. Prove yourself. That's why I go to the shows. I go because I got a big ass mouth, man. I talk shit. And so I go to the shows to sling shit. Okay. So you can see Mikey's a bad mofo. Mikey can set up a rig in the audio shit ass hotel room and make it sound badass and have people sitting in here not wanting to leave, the room filled the whole time. You know, I mean, hey, if you can do that, it's tough competition. There's 100 rooms there, 50 rooms at least. And you're competing against guys that have way more money than you do, right? These guys with $500,000 rigs that, you know, just doesn't mean shit. So, Ted, dude, Teddy, dude, the light bulb just went off, brother. Do you have a big room at Expona? Dude, put my giant monoblocks. I've got freaking 160 watt tube monoblock. We could fucking steal the show. I can't get in a goddamn big room. That's my problem. I've tried to get in a big room. I can't get in. I have the money. They won't let me into a big room because all the old cronies keep taking the same shit. I'm like, let Mikey get a big room and I will steal the effing show. I might need to save that for myself there, Ted. That's a lot to share. I got to make a splash, bro. And it's got to be Mikey on his own. I have to show that I can hang with any of these big ass, big dick waivers, you know, and show that I can do it with a little penis. I expect to see a new hustle coming. You know it, brother. I got some moves, man. Wrist check. What's the watch tonight? It is J'ai joué le culte. J'ai joué le culte. Le culte. I'm not even gonna try and speak French because I can't. But it's oh yeah, I'm showing the microphone my watch. Hey Mike, check it out. Look, yeah, beautiful Polaris, man. I love this thing. This was the first one that I bought. It's army green. It has like a sunburst. It's like you can see yellow when you're in the sun. You just hold that up and there's a gold hue to it. It's like the sickest style. Yeah. So what are you wearing, man? What do you got on, Christian? Big hedge funds manipulate the markets. Severe benefit. It happened, of course, dude. I mean, you look at their games, you're like, these guys got it locked, bro. They got it locked. We are puppies sucking hind tit compared to these players. You know what I mean? I mean, these guys run shit. But hey, you know, the difference is you got to have a administration that allows us to get some of the scraps, allows us common hind tit suckers to get some of the scraps, some of the crumbs. If we can get crumbs, we can be happy. Well, look, we can be happy with nothing, right? Okay, let's not get existential. But some of these, some of the bureaucracies and certain things, and I'm not going to go on this because I'm not a political pundit, right? I don't know shit other than just what I think I know, which isn't much. It seems like with some times the powers that be, or whatever you want to call them, will wrap up all the crumbs. They want everything. They're not even going to let the crumbs go down to the younger ones, whatever, the less fortunate, right? The ones that weren't born in the inside circle, right? So if they can let some of the crumbs drop, we can scrap up the crumbs. And if we're good at crumb snatching, we can do pretty good. Teddy says it's not overvalued. Soon they will have full self-driving. Tesla service centers and retail stores will be the hubs for autonomous cars. He will have their own ride-sharing system like Uber, but way less. Yeah, I believe it, man. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. They're an AI company. They will do 10x from here shortly. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, and everybody would be like, remember when you sold? Remember when you sold? You got scared. You got scared because it went from 400 down to 200. You got scared and you sold it. Now it's at 10,000 because we held tight or we bought. Target, baby. Out of all the Revive Online. Out of all the reviewers online, who do you trust the most? I don't watch them. But who would I know, like, from the inside of the industry that Ron Resnick, probably. Yeah, Yeah, I would trust Ron Resnick, man. The most unassuming, nice, gentleman, smart, gracious, lovable dude. You know, he's just good shit. You know, there's no agenda. He's just, and he's smart, and he doesn't let shit get by him. So he is an unassuming person, but sharp as a tack. This guy's cool. Ron Resnick. The What's Best Forum online. So I think you find him on What's Best Forum. Okay. And look, for you guys that are looking for exciting, entertaining things, Ron is more of a, just report you the facts and give you his ideas. He's not going to have all the fancy, camera angles and all that shit like the YouTubers. There's a whole group of YouTubers that kick ass on YouTube, man. They're some of the highest numbers of subscribers, but in many ways, they are the least experienced. But they're playing the YouTube game, right? They're not like I have no desire for that. But I think in many ways, I don't need it, right? I mean, I can fall back on what I do, whereas they got nothing to fall back on. They need to make that as their mainstay. That is how they're making money. So they have to take it full tilt boogie, and they do a great job at it. Their videos are awesome. All the thumbnails, all the shit that they do is really professional and super cool to see, but it's a production. It's a TV show. It's make-believe, so how are you guys supposed to take that serious? Some of them you can, and I guess you just go with your gut, just watch people, watch how they do it, listen to them, use your street smarts, right? Just get a feel for them. Use your gut. Say, what is my gut telling me about this guy? Is he putting me on, or is this genuine? Is this guy for real? Or is he a put on? And then if he's a put on and he's selling something, does this guy really care about my audio? Let me try and just make a weird, sixth sense guess. Is this the kind of dude that would give a shit about how my audio sounds? Would he serve me well? Would he have my back? Would he, or is he just trying to move a product? Or, can he even help me? Let's say he has intention. He wants to help. Is he even qualified enough to help me help? Because, or did somebody help him stage this video where he has no idea? He's talking about, say, I don't know, component matching or some shit like that, or how to tune a speaker or tune a room or something like that. And some of these guys don't know how to do it, but they ask somebody else, they learn how to do it in descriptive terms, and then they make a video, or they just parrot that back. So I like Ron Resnick. I think he is, and I don't even know if he does reviews, but he does do commentary. I'm almost through. I'm almost to 10 milligrams of THC. Delta 9, I think it is. North High Tonics, berry lemonade, lightly carbonated, 0 calories. Sweet. Hangover free. Fast acting. Oh, shit. Hemp Delta 9. Huh. Oh, effects can be felt in 15 to 20 minutes. Start with 1 can to assess your tolerance. Be mindful while enjoying. Yeah, this stuff is definitely not strong. I'm not baked off it. I mean, if I have an effect, it's light. Let's see if we can get one. An effect. Okay. There she blows. Come on, brother. Get down here. I know, Shane. I got to figure out when, man. I will do it for sure. You have my word. I will come down. I'll see you guys. I will see Kenny and Deborah. I'm going to definitely go in the water and dive. I'd like to go up to the barrier reef and dive the barrier reef. I'd like to go out back and see Outback. I don't really know. Then I'd let you guys tell me what else is cool. The Opera House. And then you guys take it from there. That's the only things that I would say that I want to do. I'm not even going to try and, I guess I want to see a kangaroo. Kangaroos they freak me out. I will tell you, kangaroos freak me out, man. They stand on their tails. They do weird shit. They got muscles like they're on freaking steroids. They freak me out. They're freaking mutants. Yeah, it's just like no mentioned about Elon rescuing astronauts. You want to see the thing that I posted today on Facebook? Facebook, the only thing I do on Facebook is post shit to piss off the left because it's a holdout for people. And I'm playing. Look, I really don't care. Okay. I have customers that are devout freaking Democrats, right? And they give me shit every once in a while. And it's okay. We still love each other. It doesn't matter because they know I don't care. I'm really a hippie at heart. I am truly what I'd call it real Democrat or a Kennedy Democrat, you know, and I'm not even fucking political really, which is the funny part. But over the last, I don't know, 8 years or 5, when Trump first got elected, I ignored politics all the way until Trump first got elected. When he got elected, I was like, holy shit, left field. What the hell's going on now? That's what made me pay attention to politics, because until before then, it was all stupid shit that I didn't want to hear. Stupid babble, bullshit, fake shit, right? When Trump came on, I was like, this is crazy. The guy, the douchebag from New York, the TV guy, you're fired. Fucking, you know, I never liked Trump, okay? But the fact that he was in, I was like, this is a total upset. This is totally, they didn't see this coming. This is the craziest shit that could ever happen. I'm fucking totally into it. That's why I was into it, because it's upheaval. It's a left curveball. It's a monkey wrench in the plan. That's why I freaking celebrated it. And then I started listening to the dude. You know, it's hard to listen to him, honestly, for me, because he talks a lot about himself, but he has mellowed out. After that assassination attempt, he's mellowed out. He just got a little more, I don't want to know if I want to use the word humility, because he is pretty big ego. But look, it to me, it's a free-for-all. At this point, it's a Wild West. Shit's happening. He's only been in there 2 months, and look at all the stuff that's happened. Can you imagine the change it's going to be in 4 years from now? It's going to be nuts. And I'm hoping it's better. I think they're trying for the best. Whatever. Would I any you know, could I be wrong? Sure, I could be wrong. Mikey, please share to the tribe about the impeccable German wiring in the Fisher & Fisher. Superb bespoke build quality inside out. Yes, if you guys caught any of my videos where I was inside the Fisher & Fishers at the Fisher factory, you could see the inside wiring. It's Mundorf wiring, very high quality wiring. All the crossover things are Mundorf, all the parts. It's very high grade inside there. They're retarded, man. I mean, look, I can only say they're the best speaker ever that I've ever heard so many times. You know, I'm the freaking salesman. Okay. But I consider myself so blessed that I got this brand, because it truly is a secret weapon, and dealers kill for brands like this. They slice each other's throat trying to steal brands like this. You know, it's just everybody's in a total dire, desperate attempt to get good brands. And you see new brands coming all the time. They're just like, dealers have this like corpses grip for new shit, so they can just burn it out and then toast it and find the next new thing, because they don't have loyalty. I hate to say this in many ways. And it's not all dealers, right? It's just the typical hi-fi dealer, like you'd say, like the typical hi-fi dealer. Which brings me to something that I have to say about dealers, because I was thinking about this today. We found a dealer in BFE, Illinois, selling things. We basically busted a dealer selling something that they don't have, and they're putting it on the internet in an attempt to devalue a product. Like, they're putting it low price. It's fake. It's not even real. And so that's something that you guys have to realize. Not everything that you see listed on places for sale is actually really there for sale. Many times it is a tool, a bait and switch, to get you to call in on that item, and then they try and sell you something else. Well, that's sold, of course, and it's always this price that's too good to be true. That's how you know something's wrong. When it's like a 70% off, 60% off, then you know something's up. This is bullshit. Okay. That's your first red flag. And then it'll be something will say like, under contract or sale pending or, whatever. And then they milk it and they milk it. They don't have it, but they leave it out. It's fraud. It's like they can't sell it, but they have it up anyways to try and disparage something. It's a greasy scumbag tactic, but hey, there's dealers that do that shit. Furthermore, there's another dealer that speaking about speakers and people trying to get new brands, there's a new speaker line that is about ready to come to the US. And I may be involved, I may not, because I looked at some of the dealers a couple of the dealers that don't even have product yet. And as far as I know, they haven't taken delivery, and I'm not certain that they've even heard the brand, because the brand told me there's only 2 pairs of our speakers in the United States, and they told me what dealer they were with. And it wasn't this dealer. And this dealer has like 15 of their products plastered across their website. Okay, so what does this mean to you? You say, well, Mikey, he's going to be selling them eventually, so why does it matter if he pre-sells? Well, what it tells you is, very potentially, and I'm not saying this happens, this is the truth, but it's very possible, for sure, it's definitely possible that they didn't hear all those speakers. They may not have even heard the brand yet, but they're in such a desperate grasp to try and have something new that other people don't have, that they plaster it all over their website before they even have the ability to get it, before the contract signed. It's just a verbal, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Maybe the paper is signed. It doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is the product's not there. So that's what you'll run into. I will not put my name on a speaker till I've had it in my, till I've listened to it for a month. I have to listen to it for a month, and get to know them better. So that is, again, something else. I got off the subject, but it is rather interesting. Danny said, Los Endos. He likes to ride his motorcycle on his front tire. Danny said yesterday they would not have a room. Okay, why? He will be there, but not setting up. Why? He's right there, dude. He said they are overwhelmed with speaker builds. Cop out, and would become further behind. Cop out. Cop out. That's such a cop out. That is such bullshit. Bullshit. We are all overwhelmed with business, We all have it. Every customer understands when you say, I have to go to the show over the weekend. Okay? So it's going to be a weekend. Your shipment is going to be postponed 5 days. Big deal. He lives local. That's bullshit. That's a cop-out. That's bullshit. That's what you call bullshit. L bullshit for Los Endos. La mierda. Okay? Caca mierda. Poo-poo. Shit. Yeah. If you are a force to be reckoned with and you got balls, back your mouth up. Do a room. Back your mouth up, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm already egging you on because I think dude's got a big mouth, man. And so prove yourself, man. Shit. Go up against me. I'll do a room too. And let's see who can do a better room. Let's see who's better at making a room sound good. A speaker designer engineer, or a fucking jackass myself. And listen to my jackass rig. Throttle the piss out of the engineer rigs. That's what's funny. And if it's not that way, and I'm totally wrong, and I'm totally just being a douche, then make me eat my words. Shit, I will eat them. If I need to say, you know what, I was wrong, then I say it was wrong. But look, if you listen to me closely, I'm calling Danny out, but I'm not saying his product doesn't sound good. I've never said that once. I said, let me hear it. If it's so badass, show us. That's how I look at this. The only reason I go to the shows is to back my mouth up, to let you guys compare me to 50 other rooms and say, how does Mikey do under these stressful conditions? Is Mikey just a mouth that's selling DIY kits or whatever? Or is Mikey just a mouth selling sponsorship and some YouTube guy? Or can Mikey actually cook with fire, and not only that, but kill it and be one of the best rooms in the show? And I'm confident I can do that every single show in perpetuity. There's no reason to do that. All I need to do is show you guys a couple of times, so that you guys know, okay, Mikey's badass. So the next thing I need to do is show up with a big $250,000 audio system that kills every single $1 million system out there. Something maybe 200, that just shreds. You guys never seen before. Then I show not only can I just make a little ass room sound good, but I show I can kill the big rooms, and all of them. I will go up against the $1 million rooms. Me, little Mikey, will go against the $1 million rooms with what I got. And it's going to be like David and Goliath. I'm going to have my fucking slingshot, and it's going to be right at the big fucker's neck. And I'm going to take out his Adam's apple, and it's not going to be pretty. And people won't like me because I stir it up, because I show them the same shit. I can make it sound better for a fourth of the price. But maybe some people don't care. We can't discount that. Some people may want the trophy, and maybe a trophy is a 10-foot speaker instead of a 6-foot speaker or something like that, right? Tesla is more than simply electric vehicles. Here comes Dan. The real value of Tesla will be in the personal robot sector. That's a good point. Value is predicted to increase 10 to 20-fold in the next 5 years. Well, shit, I better go buy a handful more shares. Mikey, any suggestions about what one can do who has discovered a new loudspeaker alignment, as in seal ported, to overcome common limitation? Wow. Dude, this is uncommon question, not uncommon reader. Like, I don't even understand that. Any suggestions about one can do who has discovered a new loudspeaker? So I'm guessing you discovered, a friend discovered a new loudspeaker alignment, who has discovered a new loudspeaker alignment, as in sealed, a new speaker design philosophy, as in sealed, ported, to be able to, what one can do is discover to overcome common limitations in all current tech. Keep it to myself. Dude, I don't know what you're asking. I've got no idea. So can you please rephrase that question for me? Rephrase it. Give me some context. Give me a little meat on the bone, if you know what I mean, and I will answer. Teddy says it's not about saving the planet. It's about convenience. Okay. If you've got one car, make it ice. If you have two cars, make one. The hell is ice? If you have two cars, internal combustion engine, got you. If you have two cars, make one EV, and also full self-driving is the bomb. Yeah, I'll come up. I'll check it out, brother. I'll come and check that thing and I'm coming up to Nashville, bro. I'm coming. Thank you, Jane Fonda Biatch. Was that the From the Dead show? Was that the comment of the old hippie smacking me? Thank you, Jane Fonda. Hybrids should be made like diesel electric locomotives. How are those made, Patrick? We get the specifications, measurements, and there must be a platform whereby it should be judged. It's all over technical literature. Yeah, but see, I don't think specifications and measurements give you a proper manner of judgment unless the result that you want is good measurements. And then you'd have to trust that they're not lying with their measurements, and you'd have to know what their measurements were, when the last time they calibrated their machines. I think the THC's kicking in, man. You'd have to know when was the last time they calibrated their machines, man. I mean, there's so little to know on spec, is so unreliable. It is absolutely unequivocally unreliable. You can't rely on spec at all. I've heard stuff that measures so well sound like complete ass, and I've heard things that measure horribly sound better than anything I've ever heard, i.e. vacuum tubes. Teddy's room, attaboy. Okay, let's party, bro. Full self-driving in a Tesla today is a game changer. Highly recommended. Yeah, I think that would be cool for me because I'm always fucking head in my phone, which is probably a bad practice. But I guess I'd try it, man. Don't people die doing that shit? Electric cars are nonsense if you live in a cold climate. Your batteries efficiency are heavily reduced, and they reduce the holding charge after 5 years. Yes, right. That's my feeling about it. The battery technology has not come up to line. It's not solar recharging. It's like you got to plug into the grid. It's like it's not all the way there. It's a half measure for me. It's still at half measure point. I get that it's cool that they self-drive, but look, give me 5 years of them self-driving so that all the crashes have happened, and then there's no more, then they're not happening anymore, Okay, look, we got it. We got a live one. Hello, you're on the air. This is Mikey.
OCD Mikey, the living legend.
Yeah, buddy.
I talked to you once before, the cabbie from Key West, live in Michigan right now.
Oh, yeah, buddy. How are you?
I'm pretty good, good.
Good, man. Welcome. What's your name?
Kelly Struts.
Kelly.
Everybody calls me Dice, though. So
Dice.
Dice.
Oh, shit. We got a live one. We got Dice with us. Right on, brother. What's happening?
Right on. Do you remember talking to me one time, like a month ago, my friend?
Maybe. And first of all, let me make sure that you know that you are on the live stream right now.
Hell yeah.
Okay, good.
Watch everything you got. Okay. You are my idol as far as hi-fi goes.
Attaboy.
I think you know your shit, buddy. I would trust your opinion.
I'm faking really good.
Without me, no. You're faking like a demigod with like fake, like your insights are fantastic.
Thanks,
hey,
brother.
I got a quick little question.
Yeah.
What did you think of that rig that doctor from Princeton came up with when you was at Homeboys?
The Bach.
How is that, bud?
It's super interesting and cool and psychedelic, like, that's how I look at it.
It's kind of like the Carver Sonic calligraphers, but taken to the next final frontier.
I haven't heard that, but I did hear him mention it, and yes, it is something that was in many ways a half measure, comparatively to what they're doing. Yeah. They put microphones in the ears, and then they do they do a frequency sweep to that mic that's in your ear, and it gives your own personal frequency response at the microphone based on your ear shape and your body mass, which is like wild. Wow. Okay. And then it compensates for your own ear. So that your ear it's like flattens out frequency response in the EQ, so that because we all hear different. So now we're all going to hear like the same thing that it's putting out. After you do the process. Even if you haven't done the process, it does it partially. But when you put those things in your ears and you listen, I was on a desktop system with a laptop with speakers near field. And then a singer was singing, a female singer. And dude, she was right in the center of my brain. I was like, how is the image inside the center of my head? And that's what headphones do. That's what headphones do. Not the way I naturally listen to music, So I prefer my rig the way it is without those effects or those improvements.
That's what I was going to ask you. I think that your front end is the ultimate. I do. The man that did your stuff, he did that new Nagra stuff. He's as good as it gets, right?
I agree. I think so. I mean, he's on the damn patent for sample rate. You guys, he's talking about Andreas Koch, the founder of Playback Designs, who designs the MPDA.
That's the man.
Yes,
that's the man. Okay. Granddaddy champion.
That's right. So he's on the 1984 patent for sample rate conversion.
For Sony.
I believe so. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So he created SACD for Sony. Before that, his first job was working at Studer of Switzerland, making the first digital equipment for a tape manufacturer. So if you guys know anything,
Studers are legendary.
Studers are the bomb. They're one of the best.
But are they as good as the Nagras, or are they better
than the Nagra tape machines?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you talking about Dacs?
I'm talking about their tape machines, sir.
Well, it depends.
Legendary
It depends.
Nagra
It depends. So Studer is known for tape handling. They're really good at tape handling. You know, ATR, oh man, Ampex.
Mikey, you're the greatest at what you do. I just got to tell you that.
Oh yeah, thanks, brother. Thanks, brother.
Yeah. Hey,
so the
you know,
Ampex is known for having. I was about to finish. Ampex is known for having a different sound, maybe a little more clean. Studer is known for a little more of a softer sound, but Studer is also known for handling tape. So I got the Studer known for handling tape, and then I changed all the electronics in it and the heads. Yeah, upgraded the heads and all that shit.
You know, so that's why you're the wizard, bro.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just.
You're up there.
There's some other guys. There's some other guys, but I'm an old cuckoo audiophile. You guys have to realize.
But do you still have your business with the wires, with the cables?
Yeah, I do, but it's on the back. It's on the back burner.
You do. Hey, yeah. I got to ask you this question because you know all the rigs throughout the whole world, pretty much. How good is Spectral?
I don't know.
I don't know. Really?
I don't know because I went to hear them in Oakland, California. I made a trip. I was there and with a you know what? I'm going to be back in Sacramento, so I'll probably be in Bay Area, and I can try to hook up with Spectral again. I want to hear their stuff. They didn't. The amps that were in the dealer, they didn't have them hooked up. It looks like a unique brand. People that have them like them, but I've not been able to suss that brand out yet.
Right on. Because I just want to know how they compare to Roland, because I know Roland a little bit, not like you do, but you know the sound is great on Roland, and but I don't see how anything can compare to your NAT tubes you got. I don't think anything in the world that I know of.
Yeah, they're very, very good amps. There's no question. Yeah, we'll see. There's some things down the road that are coming out that are some special surprises in the amplifier world.
You're good at those, aren't you, bud? You dig them out, man.
I dig them out, dude. I dig them out, and in many ways, I help prompt them. I'm like, dude, make this, and they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, make it. I'll sell the shit out of it if you make it. You know, make a blank.
Who wouldn't want to buy from you, but I don't know you, but I like you. I feel like I know you and I trust you.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Yeah.
And that's the person that I
everybody's going to think this is totally a setup. It sounds too good to be true.
Dude,
right?
I don't know OTB Mikey, but I tell you what, he used to have black hair and now he's got gray hair.
Look at that shit,
bro.
Look at that
I watch those videos with you and what's his name? Oh my God, you just went to his house over there in Italy.
Oh, Mark Levinson.
The legend.
Yeah, Mark Levinson. Yeah. I
watched a video with you and him, and you look 25 years younger, bro.
Oh shit, thanks, dude.
Yeah, man. And I'm just saying, and you've been in the business your whole life, bro. You know what goes up and what goes down.
Well, I don't know. I have my perception. I have my perception of it, and it is a rather jaded perception. And there's
it's a perfect perception.
I got a little resentment. I gotta say, I could be more of a what would the graceful. I could probably be more graceful and humble and shit like that, but I still got piss and vinegar, brother.
I wouldn't want to watch. I love watching your videos, bro.
Yeah,
you get down and diggity, man.
Yeah,
you're cool, man.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
See,
you're
I was
cool
in the
too,
cab
dude. If I was a cab with
the
name Dice, that's pretty badass too.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, thank you very much.
Are you bald?
No. But I used to be like a semi-pro pool shooter, you know. So I love the gamble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, buddy.
Love to gamble. So
there you go.
Anyways, man, see, mine's kind of a sad story, you know, when Uber came in and all that, the cab industry went to hell, you know.
Shit. And you said you were in Key West
for 22 years. And I'm probably going back there next week just to chill out for a week or so.
You got the best stories. You've got the best story. Tell us a story. Give us a cab story.
Down and dirty, like, hey, check this out. All right.
Yeah, we don't have to go all the way, but let's go.
No, we won't. But this is an interesting story.
Okay.
I pick up these two sisters, okay, right on Devore Street, and I start going down Eaton Street uptown, you know.
Yep.
And the sister in the back is digging me.
Yep.
And she goes, why don't you come back here?
Uh-oh.
And I went back there and her sister drove. Okay.
What?
So now I got her sister driving my cab.
Oh my God, dude, that's epic.
While I am having her go into gas stations, and I'm actually doing everything possible. I got a home run score with her sister driving us around town, going through gas stations.
Oh my God, no
while
way.
I'm baiting her sister. She's looking in the mirror and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And then when I get done, she goes, "Hey, he's pretty good. You ought to try some of this." And then I got the other sister, bro.
Dude, they were packing their beaks, dude, with some of that yayo. They were cuckoo.
Oh man, hey man, you know the Key West.
Of course, that's where the shit washes up on the beach there, bro.
Well, it was worse than that. In the 90s, the police department in the city got RICO acted.
Ah,
did you hear about that?
No, they were that dirty.
Yeah, they got RICO. They got RICO acted.
They were that down with the local population.
That's right. They were doing deals all over the town. The fire department.
They were doing the same shit in the back of their cop cars that you were doing in your cab, dude.
Yeah, they were, bro. Like I would dispatch out of the cabs too, and a lot of times I'd be getting a knob job while we're all partying and all that, and I'll be talking on the radio, dispatching out calls and all that stuff.
That's so funny. I haven't heard the term knob job. I love it, knob job.
That is the way to go, man.
Yeah,
but no, I flew a little bit too high to the sun, and then Uber came. And the bad thing is, and this is why I'm so fascinated with folks like you and your whole community. I wish I was a big part of it, because I lost my rig, bro. I lost everything. With the Uber thing and, not keeping my P's and Q's. And I had, back in the day, Prime Air was like an $8,000 system just for the preamp and the 2 monoblocks.
Yeah.
But now they're like mid-tier. But back then, they were the bomb diggity.
Oh, I remember.
And they only made 101 of them. They had 2 in white and 99 in black of the 928 Prime Airs, the first ones they ever got. And, Now when I play music, I get the memories of like what was going on in my life through my system.
Yes, that's what music's all about, man.
It's
bringing us back. Yeah.
But the problem is, once you had, a class A system, maybe not the top of the top like you, but a pretty damn good thing.
Yeah.
And then you go without it, bro. You want to reach out to people like OCD Mikey and just keep in check. And one day I'll be back again.
Yeah,
man.
Buddy. Yeah, we're rooting for you. Well, you know what, dude? With all the people that are listening and on my channel, I've got guys listening right now that have stuff rotting in their closet that they would sell for cheap, just to hook up.
I'm a heartbroken OCD fan. I would like to get your autograph, bro. Serious,
That's funny, man. We'll go to one of the shows and we'll have a beer or whatever. I'll have a non-alcoholic beer. Maybe I'll have one of those THC things.
You like?
I just drank a THC soda while I'm doing my thing.
Good.
Because I never tried one.
All right.
I don't know. I think I feel it.
Hey, man, OCD, you rule. I love that you do the call-in now. And it was kind of a coincidence. When I called you, that was right before you started the call-in thing.
Oh,
and it made me feel good that it was close to that,
man. Well, right on. I'm glad you called in.
Man, I was really impressed with your OCD guy that is living in Australia.
Oh, yeah, Shane.
Shane.
Yeah, and Kenny. Have you seen Kenny, too?
Probably.
Kenny's got the beard, and Shane is the bald guy.
Right on. Right on. Good people who love playback designs. And I'm kind of interested in what he thought too, because he had that new system that we were talking about earlier.
Oh, the Bach. Yeah.
Yeah, he had something to do with it. And I haven't found his next video where he's coming to his conclusions, but I think he's sticking with playback designs, bro.
Well, yeah, for that DAC, but I think you can still use Bach even with another outside DAC. I talked to one of my clients today that has the playback and he uses it with Bach.
Right on.
And somehow he uses them together. Shane had an earlier version, so they have done some things to it now. It's a little more comprehensive, I think, than the one that Shane had. So that's probably why he's holding back on his on his conclusions.
I've never heard it. I would love to hear it. It sounds so interesting.
What it is, bro, is I mean, to make it easy to understand, it is like listening to headphones. But okay, so in between headphones and speakers is where it is. It's like you take the speakers and you put them 50% closer to headphones in the room. Like there's big giant headphones in the room. So all of a sudden stuff comes in from the sides. Yeah.
I love that, man.
And you're like, whoa.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. So it was psychedelic. Like the first thing I wanted to do was like listen to some trippy Floyd or some, Spangle or some wild shit that just was panning back and forth,
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, man. I can spend hours and hours listening to a good rig, man. The time just goes by.
Yeah.
And you know what? When I figured out how long I had my system for, and it cost me, a ton of money, but not in the long run, it didn't. It lasts so long.
Yeah.
It comes out to a couple bucks a day, but on a 10-year scale, it's the best thing I ever had, really. And I've had old Corvettes, I've had racing boats, little action marines that go 90 miles an hour.
Yikes.
But I put that rig, right? It's a really good thing.
Yes, I agree.
Once you live with it, you don't want to live without it, Mikey. So don't be like me. Don't ever lose all your rigs, man. It's not a good place to be, Mike.
I can't. Yeah. Well, look, dude.
I never thought I would.
You just get in touch, bro, if you want us to get you something, and we'll get it to you.
Thank you.
If you need a rig, we'll make sure you get something.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I will keep in touch with you, man. I like talking to you, bro.
Right on, man. You can call in anytime.
Hey, sounds good, Mike. I'm going to get off your air and thank you so much for your time talking to me, Mike.
All right, Mikey. Man. Dice.
Bye.
See ya.
Good night.
Good night. So there we had Dice from Michigan via cab driving in Key West, Florida. That dude's got some stories for sure. Okay, drinkable water is going to become the new oil in about 20 years with population growth. Yeah, that's true. Can't wait to get my AA DAC. You just tell me when the time is, Dan, and we'll get you set up. I've got one left right now, but the new shipment's coming in. I think I've got 6 black and 2 silver coming in. The one I have right now is black. But yeah, man, you will be happy you got it. And climate change, huh? You gain the ability to not import the noise from the wall. Yeah, right. You're talking about the battery. How do you feel about AGD on Dante Mark II preamp with DAC compared to the Meitner DAC? I have not had the Mark II here, so I would have to listen to them side by side, but that would be an interesting kind of a comparison. Yeah, you gave me a good, I wonder how much is, do you know how much is on Dante Mark II? Is it 15? I can't remember. Or is it 12? Ohm is just a different kind of Hummer. Ohm, yeah. 80s tracks are louder due to the loudness wars. Yes. Carlos, the loudness wars really happened in the 2000s. Got you. Maybe I got my decades wrong. When you were explaining about spec, remember when I was explaining about spec? Yeah, spec. Yeah, I know. George is telling us that there's got to be something for people to judge shit off of. So spec gives a standard, is his argument. And I would say, yes, that's true if people have integrity with that standard. And if there were standardized testing conditions, which there are not. So if we could truly rely on spec, they may be worthwhile. They're a guess, and even if they were, if there was a governing body and it would be fraud, or something if they didn't do it by the licensed method or whatever. Even if that were the case, you could look at it and it's not going to tell you how it sounds. So you can sort of get an idea of spec, you cannot get an idea of sound. Just watched a vid with a record producer from the 80s. He thought cocaine was to blame with the highs of the 80s being jacked. I'll bet, man. Apparently, cocaine use affects the ear's ability with high frequencies. Yep. You can take a hit and get a bell ringer, and then your hearing goes away. Oh God. Yeah, so and the other thing too is that cocaine is a certain feeling, and a certain, there's total cocaine music, and it's like that 80s electronic many times, kind of syncopated Gary Newman, like maybe Kraftwerk, um, Talking Heads. It's total coke music. It's like jerky and dry and cut and just, there's no groove to it. It's just weird and jerky and just, the beats are weird and, so if people are fueled up on cocaine and they're feeling a certain way, the guys that are, making the music are going to make it a certain way. And if they're on acid, they're going to make it different. If they're on X, they're going to make it different. If they're sober, they're going to make it different. If they're drunk, they're going to make it different. They're just going to be different on the controls, I'm sure, in the mix and how they produce potentially, you know? So yeah, so pushed into the red. Makes sense. My AA DAC is fully broken in, but continues to amaze and impress me every single day, says Kurt Hedrick. Thanks, Mikey. Thanks, buddy. Fully broken in. So it took some time to break in, but continues to amaze. Like I said, man, I mean, I talked to somebody today and we were talking about AA DAC, and I'm like, everybody calls me back about how happy they are with the AA DAC because it's a great DAC, but it does take break in. Woohoo! 3 solid steel hi-fi audio racks have just arrived at my front door with Tellurium Q, Ultra Silver XLR, and USB cables. It's a great day, man. There you go, buddy. Let us know how it all works out. Yes, 20 to 20 is the range of human hearing, for example. Not yours, not mine. And that's an example of what the hi-fi audio manufacturers print and explain. Yeah, it's a mindless answer. They say 20 to 20 because that's the, supposed, frequency expanse that we can hear when we just pop out of the uterus. Supposedly we got 20 to 20. I don't even know that we could hear 20K at that time. Maybe we can, and you have to also ask yourself, well, what can you feel? Certain frequency is a feeling, certain frequency is a light. So yeah, nobody hears at 20K. I don't think anybody. I think I probably hear to 14 or some shit like that. But it doesn't mean I can't hear shit that goes in a weird way. I feel it somehow. I sense it. Even if my ears aren't picking it up, somehow my body's picking it up. My skin surface, something's picking it up because I can tell the difference between an amp that is a high bandwidth amp and one that's not. I can hear it, Opera Callis Diva versus Fisher and Fisher 270 AMT. Price is similar. Are they very different from each other? Yes. Yes, they are. The Callis Diva is a great speaker. Nothing wrong with it. It's more of a typical sound. The 270 is going to have something like you've never heard before because it has a stone cabinet. I know it's hard to believe that just a cabinet can make that much difference, but it does. And it's not granite and it's not glass and it's not solid steel. It is slate, which is a layered oil, like mud. So it has a different, it's like whatever, petrified mud from millions of years ago. So it has a different sound. The tonality of it is like a tone wood, but it doesn't suck up energy the way wood does. So it doesn't soak up energy, but it has incredible tonality. You're like, how does it do that? The only thing I've ever heard with the tone like that is like a nice wood tone or something like that, you can hear it on a lot of times the single driver speakers, the wood cabinets, when they resonate, they not the ones that are inert cabinets, but the other ones. They can have a nice tone to them. Well, Fisher and Fishers have a tone that MDF speakers don't. And any MDF painted speaker is not going to sound like a Fisher. So, and the output, typically with a Fisher and Fisher, you would go a size smaller than you think you need to be at because the output from them is much greater than their size. So you go a size smaller typically in that room. If you were going to put a wood speaker, or an MDF speaker, you'd go bigger to get the same amount of output. So one is built to a higher level. The Callus Diva, you would get a larger speaker, but Fisher, you would get a much more exotic build, a higher level of of design expertise. It's not going to look as pretty. Probably the Callus Diva is probably prettier. It's Italian. It's swept back. It has beautiful veneer on it. The Fisher and Fisher is more purpose built. It's kind of like Bauhaus design. It's very purposeful. And but the sonic and the build level is at a much higher level. It may not be as pretty, but the integrity of the build and the scarcity of the materials and the scarcity really of the design prowess and the crossover in the speaker is just, there's many great speakers out there. There's not magic. There's many good speakers out there. There's very few great speakers out there. And then there's even fewer that are breakthrough. And I fully think the Fisher and Fisher's breakthrough. I don't think there's anything like it. And we'll start bringing more people on that are buying them. I'm selling them almost every day. I think you should get back on camera, mate, and do some dancing for us. Uh-oh. Shane wants me to dance. I haven't felt it, man. I haven't felt it. I got to feel that. That comes from the heart. When I dance like that, dude, I'm goofing. I'm like feeling joy and happiness and like I don't give a shit and everything's good and and then I hear a tune that I love. Today I almost busted into a dance. In fact, I was singing along. I was making Magnapan kits. By the way, the Magnapan kits are back in stock. I make Magnapan kits for your Maggies that bypass the fuses and put pure silver tubes in there and pure silver jumpers. And for $200, $185 per kit. And I hand cut and hand polish these, hand bend the horseshoes, and put them into a tarnish free sealed bag with a small polish impregnated polishing cloth. Okay. And they're 185 each, and one pair is for like a LRS plus or a 1.7. And then I don't know, I think from the 2.7 up, you'd need 2 kits. But it's the easiest thing. It takes no tools. You take the hoop out and you take the fuse out and you put this fuse in. It's not a fuse. You put this jumper in and you put the little horseshoe in, and you can have all your money back if it doesn't blow your mind. Because it does. People freak out. They call Magnapan and go, "Why don't you put these in your speakers and sell them that way?" Well, because they need the fuse. The fuse is part of the Magnapan thing to save on liability and cut down on all the blown tweeters that they'd have to be making. So they put a fuse in so that you blow the fuse first. But if you're careful with the way you use your speaker, you never need that fuse. And all it does is bottleneck the sound. Don't rate GR Research, never have mid-fi at best. Yeah, I mean, I've heard similar things, but I'd have to hear it for myself, and then say, sounds like he's shaking in his boots if he won't put a room together. That's what I feel. I feel it's making excuses, and it's I see it as lack of respect for the industry. It's like you've got clients out there, dude. You talk shit to more people than I do, because of his viewership is way bigger, and he's not even going to show how his stuff stacks up in the industry. Okay. He's just you just have to go on his words. At least I talk shit and and I ask you to go on my words, but then I show up and I buy a room and I set up so that I can prove myself, so that I can say, look, so he's just taking the attitude, I have enough sales, I don't have to prove myself. Fuck the industry. Which, okay, I get it. But the amount of shit that he talks on eBay, on YouTube or whatever, he ought to come up to the show. Let's see if he can make a Wilson. If he was really a troublemaker, he would bring a pair of Wilsons that sound better than real Wilsons, wouldn't he? And then he could play the Wilsons in his room. That would be funny. Playing the Wilsons that are done better than Wilson can do them. That's the kind of shit you do if you're a badass, okay? If you really stand behind that you can do it better than Wilson, then you put those bad boys in your room and then let people go to the Wilson room and then come to your room and then say what they think sounds better, okay? That's how you do it. That's when you respect the industry and you want to give the people what they pay you for. I don't know. I feel somewhat of a responsibility. I don't really want to go to all these shows, but I've realized so many of you want to meet me. And there's also customers that I've sold to locally that I haven't even met yet. I'm going to meet up with David, a guy in Texas, not David Gilden, but somebody else, who's a customer of mine, man. He spent a good amount with me and I've never met him, and I'll get to meet him, and maybe his wife or his kids, or, if he brings anybody. But it's like, so I get to meet people. So I go to press the Mikey brand out of respect for you guys, because, you see me all the time. So I show up. I don't just hide and only exist on YouTube. But, to each his own. Add an Aussie audio file. Isn't he an expert? Who knows? Well, the microphone is not the camera, dude. Yeah, exactly. I know. I was showing my watch to the mic. Yeah, absolutely, Mikey. There's a place for the retail investor. Yes. I have a varied collection, but felt ostentatious, so I wore my Christopher Ward C1 bel canto. Ooh, this guy sounds like he knows his shit, because I don't even know what that is, but I'll bet it's badass. See, you got to know. So it's the same shit with hi-fi. If somebody comes out and tells you some shit that sounds like Christopher Ward C1 bel canto, you already know that shit's going to be badass. I've never heard of it, but I just know from that name and the fact that I don't know it, that it's going to be badass. Let's look and let's show everybody. I'll look it up. It's a micro brand. Ward C1 bel canto. Okay, so let's look at this. C1 bel canto, the watch that has become a worldwide phenomenon. Oh, okay, I have seen this thing. Okay, yep. So I have seen this thing. Okay, cool. It looks like a Breguet, doesn't it? That's what I see with the little ring. Of course, it's much different. But I see reminiscence of a Breguet, and then that dial is somebody else. And this is what I learned in watches, is there are certain telltale signs that and oh, cool. I can zoom in. Okay, you guys, I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share you guys. I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to share you guys. No, I'm not. Keeping you all to myself. Let's see. Present. I think the THC is working. It's taking me like 3 times the amount of time to do this shit that I can normally find, dude. I can't find it now. I'm like, share screen. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Okay. So here we go. I'm sharing this shit. Look at that bad boy. Now look, I'm going to zoom in on it. Okay. So that little clock thing that's there, where they do that, where it makes the little clock dial on the big dial. If I'm not mistaken, that's a Breguet trait. Isn't that Breguet that pioneered that? So somebody will be the title holder for pioneering that thing, right? Somebody else will be a pioneer for Gouache. Am I saying it correctly? Gouache, whatever. That cool ass texture on the dial. That's badass. I love it. So somebody else will be the one that started that. And then what these guys probably have that's unique is this kind of working. It looks like a bird. Look at that. That's like a bird, isn't it? With a duck on its back. A bird with a duck riding it, and it's connected right there. Yeah, look at that. So it's got very unique machining. Now, what I see here is a little thing. You see that, puppy? What is that? That's a long, that might be that, you know what is that an alarm, dude? That's an alarm. This thing goes ting, it hits. This is the striker plate, this little red beak, and that thing bangs this metal, and then that metal rings, ding, gives a little, this is an alarm watch. That's what this looks like to me, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't see where we set the alarm. Maybe it's an hour indicator, like it dings every hour. Let's find out. Maybe we should just read and it'll tell us. See what it does. Sonnier a passage, which turned to watchword on said, Petito give prize. Still sounds a glorious chime on the turn of each hour. Look at that. But boast of fesh. Oh, dude. Cool. I like it. I totally want a watch that makes a ding, like an alarm watch or something. I don't know if this is called an alarm watch or a jumping CW's jumping hour. Oh, dude. I did see this, but I didn't go in depth into it. I tend to see things that look like other things and just want to go for the original. So like my first knee jerk would have been, oh, it looks like Breguet. I'd rather get a Breguet. But after you read about it, you find out, oh, this thing dings every hour. That's either going to bug the shit out of you or it's going to be cool. It's either going to start out. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's great. Maybe you can turn it off, but it is something different. And I want to watch that talks to me. That would be really cool. Mine talk to me in a spiritual sort of a way, but not in a dingy sort of a way. So cool. Thanks for sharing that. I am going to get rid of that. Yep, that one. Okay. Cool. That thing's pretty cool, man. I dig it. How do you like it? How does it wear? Oh, Salt TV is a great channel. I don't know what it is. I'm like you, Mikey. I'm not polished on my channel. What you get is exactly what I think. Yes. Mikey, may I have your permission to make a short of the kind shout out that you just gave myself and Shane? The community will enjoy it. Of course, you can use any content, Kenny, on any of my videos. I do not care. What's mine is yours. Same with Shane or anybody really that's watching. More Korean women stories. Spent 1 year there. They are some of the most beautiful women and very sensual and sexy. Check out Roma. Yeah, dude. I'll tell you what, when I visited Korea, it's interesting. You go certain places and I'm sort of check chicks out all the time. It doesn't mean I'm after them or anything. It's just, I like beautiful women. So I love to look at them. When I see them, I pay attention. And, per capita. Okay. And I'm going to try, this might come out wrong, but I didn't see that many absolute stunners, but when I did, they were higher level stunnage than any other place. Like I was like, holy shit. Is that like, I've never seen anything like that, typically. And I was in Gangnam and I was at the whatever that mall is in Gangnam. And there was like, you go past the cosmetic counters, and then you'll see some woman that looks like she's loaded and just freaking to the nines. And you're just like, oh my God, it's the prettiest woman I think I've ever seen. Yeah. So I know what you mean. Very, very stunners. But not as many. Like if we went to say Venezuela, shit, every other girl we saw would be fine. It would just be like common. You get used to it, probably like Russia or Ukraine or like some of those Eastern European countries where you're just like, Jesus, every chick is like tall and slim and a stunner, So yeah. Mikey, you need to go box a kangaroo. Jesus Christ, dude, it would kick my ass. I'd be scared shitless, man. It can stand on its tail. I can't do that shit. I'd have to kick it in the balls, and then it would really get pissed at me. Dude, but I love that. I love that video. That dude with the dog, the kangaroo, the Roo's got his dog, and the dude walks up, and the dude runs up and just puts his dukes up and just baps that guy, clocks him in the face. The Roo's like, what? Like, did he just hit me? He's like stunned. He can't believe that the human just clocked him perfectly in the jaw. He's like, uh-oh. he froze for a bit. And then I've seen a kangaroo in front of a glass house, and it's tripping out on its reflection in the glass, and it's standing on its tail and kicking with its feet on the glass. And that's the weirdest looking shit. It looks supernatural. I'm like, holy shit. It's the devil. Throw rocks at it. So would I might set it up when he gets down here. Yes. Blizzard here in Nebraska's. Oh no, 8 inches of wet snow and wind gusts of 74. Oh, dude, that shit, and it's wet. So that means, how do you get that wind and wet snow? So it's gonna stick to everything, won't it? It's gonna make your roof heavy, and it's not gonna slide off the roof. Hopefully it does. But wet snow's a bitch, man. It gets very heavy. And then what happens is, in the morning, if that shit freezes over, then it's deadly. Then you got just ice rink everywhere. I'd want to be in a purple party, but there's no such third political party. Yeah, exactly, George. I'm with you 100%. There's totally some views that I fully am left on, and there's some views that I'm right on. You know, there's something. I'm totally purple. That's a good point. Let's do it. I love it, brother. Chug it. Yeah, I chugged it. I think I can feel it. You know, it's rather light, but good. Kenny and I will sort you out, brother. I know you guys will. I'm stoked. There's no left or right. It's all a magic trick to make the population think they have choices. That is the smartest thing anybody's ever said on the channel. That is totally true, man. That's exactly right. It polarizes us, and it gets us yelling at each other, and it's sleight of hand. Look over here. What? Nothing to see over here. Look over there. Uh-huh. You are correct, Carlito. I saw the F&F video, and there's nothing to upgrade inside them. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing to upgrade. A+ components. You know, it's funny. Typically with speakers, if you can buy wire them, I buy wire them immediately. Fisher and Fishers, I just left the jumpers in. It sounds so good that way. I don't even buy wire. First time he wasn't really ready for what happened, but this time he's knocking it out of the park. Yeah, I agree. And libtards are scared of people realizing how much theft has gone on. Isn't it weird? Like, I mean, they didn't stand. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to, but it's weird. We live in a weird time right now. I love people, both sides of the thing. What I don't like is violence, and what I don't like is hypocrisy, and what I don't like is, more than anything, just violence and unrest, man. It's gross. It's like, let's just have a good time. Yeah. Let's just drink some sodas, man. We'll all be good. What kind of whiskey do you buy? Like, I do not drink, Craig and Puttock. No alcohol for Mikey. You would not want to see Mikey. You would see the demise of Mikey. You would see me go down the tubes, is what you'd see if I started drinking again. I have no restraint. I don't know how to control it. And I get drunk and belligerent and make bad choices. So I quit 25 years ago. Oh, let's see. Yeah, it was 25 years on the 15th of January. So no alcohol in 25 years. Best thing I ever did for myself. And I don't miss whiskey. What I miss is red wine. Nice Burgundy region, French red wine. That's what I miss. But I'm not going to have it. I like NNE stock. They make portable nuclear power plants that fit on a tractor trailer sized vehicle. Pretty cool. Ukraine might need some of these soon. No doubt, man. We all might. I could use one, man, in my backyard. As long as it doesn't emit some weird ass shit. And then I get a Spock ear, a final front ear. How would a pair of Fisher and Fisher sound with a pair of Rogue Audio? It would sound phenomenal, Paul. That would be a killer amp. Right now I'm using tubes with the Fisher and Fisher, and it's the best combo that I've found. Look, I love everything that I carry, but this is what I'm using. This is what I fall on. I can choose a lot of different shit for my rig because I have a lot here. This is what does not get moved. And it sucked. I put in the tubes. Look, I had found my happy place in solid state, and in many ways it's still true that tubes are for fun and solid state is for business. But when you're talking about that, that's like if we're in a recording studio, okay? If we're at home and we want home enjoyment stuff, I put the tubes back in. Now, granted, it's not just any tube. Okay, I put in large single-ended triode tubes. And it just took my breath away. And now every time I listen, I'm so engaged. And now it's like, I just don't want anything else. It's going to make it very hard for me to sell anything else. I'm going to have to, because this is my favorite, right? So if I sell you something else, it's going to be selling you something else for a different sound that I don't use, right? I use a particular type of sound. If I had to go with like another type, like I might not want to keep it. It may just be for fun. Like for instance, 2-watt, 2A3 amps and single driver 110 dB back folded horns, very particular type of listening, it's interesting, but I don't use it, right? So how do I sell something I don't use and do a good job at it? That's what I have to figure out. I think what it is I'll just capture another type of sound. So I'm doing it with the horns that I have. The horns that I have right now, I'm finding out more about how to really get 100% out of them. And this is what a good dealer does. Okay. Sorry, I'm just telling you. I will figure out how to get the most out of these. If I can't get the most out of them to where I think they're doing magic, then I won't carry the brand. If I can, I'm not giving up on them because I can hear that they do something very special. They give you a magnification like into the music on an intimate level that is like putting a magnifying glass on the music. It's very unique. The music comes to you. It's like, whoa, shit, I'm all up in there in the music. So let me find out how to tame that. And I think I know how. And then I'll have a different type of sonic to sell and I'll know how to sell it. I'll tell you, this is for the person that likes symphonic music and likes to listen at kind of a medium volume, not big volume. And we can get all the dynamics with only using 8 watts. And you can have a nice, refined, sort of more of an sophisticated system, dare I say, I don't know what to say. It's more like smoking a pipe, and reading a book. It's old school, what I just described, The Fisher and Fisher is more do it all. It's more like the do everything. So meaning play any music, play loud, play light. Fisher and Fishers actually come alive when you turn them up. That is one of the characteristics. Not only is the mid bass an interesting characteristic that stands out, not only is their output from such a small enclosure amazing, and not only is the bass output from how small they are, but the whoa, dude. I am that THC is kicking in, dude. Woo, that was a straight disconnect. That was a straight, just like the squirrel just went chew and he ran behind a tree and hid, Okay, so I was getting into the Fisher and Fishers. You were asking about the Fisher and Fisher and all that cabinet and all in the way that it has an output. And then I was going to come in with a real one, which was so your speaker is with Rogue Audio Apollos with the vacuum tubes is I totally lost my train of thought where I was going. Nonetheless, with tubes, the Fisher and Fishers do something magic. And when I put, I think I was telling you about, I was digging the solid state, and then I put these tubes in, and I was like, fuck. Now it's like they're killing the I got my fingers crossed for this and look, again, it's all different sound, man. It's all different. It's what are you after? It's, mix and match. I will have my favorite, like, it's going to be like proprietor's reserve. I'm trying, what's happening right now is I'm trying to conceive, how do I sell these different things? Otherwise I would just sell Fisher and Fisher, Nat Audio, and Playback Designs. That's all I would sell. If I had to pick 3 things, those would be the 3 things that I would go with. That would be my strong suit. Because that's what I use. That's my favorite out of all the shit that I have. However, there's other shit to go in other ways, right? So it's like the Fisher and Fisher, or I'm sorry, the audio analog Donizetti, tons of power, and inexpensive, 12,500 for 250 watt solid state amp. That's class AB. So that powers anybody's that's got like Magnapans or anything that's that is a little more of a challenge to drive. Then you go with an audio analog. You know, but I'm leading with tubes and Fisher at any show. We have a wildlife park near us, Adelaide Hills, with kangaroos, koalas, and marsupials. I totally want to pet a marsupial. Doesn't that sound like a cuddly? They'd probably bite your face off, a koala, But a marsupial sounds like sugar glider, Marsupial, little pouch, little furry pouch. I love furry pouches. Come on, baby. Okay, Mike, but what about horse waste? What's horse waste? Horse water? Horse apples? Leaving Tacoma. Are you? Where you going, man? Australia has so many scary critters. It's terrifying. No shit, man. The spiders, dude, are like this. They got hair on them. It's like, dude, I don't want any. The second a spider gets hair on it, fuck that. No way. It's too big now. It's got too much testosterone because it's got hair on it. No mustachio spider. JR research, bring it or shut it. Yeah, whatever. He can do whatever he wants, but it's like, come on, dude, you're in Texas. The show is in Texas. It would be easy as shit for you just to drive up there and make a room, but you won't even do that. Wow. Okay. Thought on AudioQuest seems gimmicky. AudioQuest at one point was king of the hill, right? They were innovating cable design. They were, Monster Cable in many ways was the one that really did it. But AudioQuest kind of did it more better, right? They did it more intense and cooler designs, and just they basically broke everything out into smaller and smaller fractals. It's like taking a system and taking an integrated amp and breaking it out into separates. That's kind of like what AudioQuest did with their wires. So back in the day, AudioQuest was a shit. At one point, when you become super popular and you need to, make 10,000 at a time because you sell 100,000 pieces in a year, there's only one place where you're going to do that. And it's not going to be, California, it's going to be in Asia somewhere. Right. So AudioQuest is a mainstream brand. It doesn't mean they're bad. I just think, I know how much the margins are. They're 70 points, sometimes better. And it's I don't know if it's a gimmick. It kind of seems gimmicky. You only ever buy them half price or don't buy them, and that kind of thing. It's just like, no, man, I don't buy into it. And then with Mythical Dragon, is that what they're called? Mythical beasts, mythical creatures, mythical animals. Isn't that what they call their shit? Dude, the second you start telling me a cable, a wire is a mythical animal, I'm out. I'm not playing your game, dude. Sorry. I just want a kick-ass wire. I don't need a mythical creature. So it's great marketing. They're probably the number one best marketed cable, probably sells more than anything. Anybody that doesn't know anything will think that AudioQuest is the thing. So they've done a good job. Can't wait till Exponent. It's Zig-a-dig. Holla at a brother. Why don't you go down to Danny's workshop then? Everybody's welcome. Because, brother, it's not my interest. I'm not interested to look at DIY speaker kits. I'm not interested to look at to take my time to go to the big mouths. I can fix any speaker's place. I don't really like. I'm not saying I don't like the guy personally because I don't know him personally, but I don't like his character. So whatever character he's playing, I'm not into it. So if he's really like that, then I'm not into the dude either. So he doesn't do anything or say anything that makes me want to meet him. I would simply do it out of what's the word I'm looking for? Completeness or whatever you want to call. There's a word for it, I'm sure. But so that you guys know, I'm listening to his stuff, so I can give you a report, so I can give you my honest opinion. I've never commented on the sound of Danny's stuff because I've never heard it. I've only heard what people have told me, so I don't comment on the sound. I comment on the guy and say, he's got a big mouth and he's really talks a lot and he thinks he's God and speaker God and all this shit. But I've never heard it. So I would go listen if it were at a show, but I'm not going to take hours out of my day to go to his thing, catch a flight. So it's that far away. So I would, if it's, are you talking about from Dallas? It's a few hours. There's no way. I'll be in Dallas tomorrow. I can go by Danny's house, right? It's probably however far away. Jay was there. So it's close enough to go. I don't think it's 2 hours by plane. But no, I'm not interested in that. I mean, it's very rare that I go out of interest to listen to somebody's rig. I really don't, unless it's something that is extremely extravagant. Like last time we drove, I think an hour to Todd's place in BFE, Texas, where he had $1 million avant-garde system, and all CH precision and all this, like this really retarded level system, because that was a setup room. So it's like, it's not going to the show and listening to $1 million system that they set up 24 hours ago in a shit ass hotel room or banquet room. This was like a completely dialed $1 million rig, all full tilt, top line avant-garde. And it was intense, boy. That was, and then, he had us all over and we got to listen and it was fun, but to go see Danny and his batteries and shit, look, dude, I've been there. I've done that. I'm glad he's doing what he does. I can give him shit for the way he talks because he earns it. And if he can convert me, I'll say the guy is as good as he says. I've got no problem, but I'm not traveling to go see it. I'm not that interested. If hybrids like the transmission, they have a very high fuel efficient and advantage of electric. Sure, hybrid's cool. Give me a hydrogen hybrid. Tesla EV is no good if you live in typical city apartment, would never buy one. There is a chance they will catch fire and destroy a garage in your home. They burn like hell. Yeah, right. They still have to iron out the kinks in the electric car. Okay, Mike, thank you very much on the measurement business. I get it. I remember when black and white TVs up to the late 70s sounded much better without sound like cutting glass today. Yeah, totally. And speaking of TVs, remember how they would sell them using contrast ratio? Oh, contrast ratio 2001. And that was like a selling point. And really, like, it's like, look, is it a good picture? Yeah. Okay, cool. Then who cares? At one point, contrast ratio became insignificant. It was like you already reached the max contrast ratio that your human eye can detect. Anything over that now is just sales jargon bullshit, right? Just fluff. As we discussed, if Deborah and I could fly to Sydney with you, we would love to take you and Joe to the Opera House overlooking the Harbor Bridge with Shane and Tina. Awesome. Yeah, buddy. We'll do it someday. Measurements and specs are marketing literature more than anything else. Yes, agreed. I forgot to say that up to the late 1970s, TV had vacuum tubes. I know, I got a whole bunch of them. I bought a whole horde of tubes, hoping that I would get some good ones. And dude, they were all radio and TV tubes. I got so many of them. Thousands. Dice, you're one cool man. Yeah. Dice is a character. And I get these guys. I love my tribe, man, because my tribe, Kenny, you're one too, man. You're total character. You guys are characters and I am too. So it's fun to have a hi-fi tribe of full tilt. I don't want to say misfits, but we are. We're all just different. And I love the more different we are, the better it is because it's more fun. It's a funner circus. You know what I mean? Because this shit is all just one circus and we're playing in it, so you might as well have fun. I remember being at a Dead show one day and I came and when we were in the parking lot, still, buzzing, and we see this group of people walking up the parking lot and we're like, this is in Oakland. And we're like, oh my God, what a weird group of people. There's like a cat woman, really tall, in like in like this bodysuit, and there was another gal with long curly black hair and like a leopard print jacket and like pink tights or something, just real eclectic clothes, maybe like Betsy Johnson would dress or something like that, just really goofy. And then Bill Walton, this big tall white dude, okay, who's a basketball guy. And then in the back, this little guy going this way, going that way with a baseball cap on backwards and sunglasses. And my buddy's like, that's Timothy Leary. I go, no fucking way. And it was Bill Walton and like this motley crew of deadheads, you know, like leaving the show, like full tilt merry pranksters, right? And they're like right there in live in color. And we're watching this. I'm like, oh my God, it's a group of pranks. Like look at this group. Like these guys are far out. Like they're, and so they pass by and my friend goes, hey, Timmy boy. And the dude with the cap on turned around and looked, and it totally was Timothy Leary. He goes, see, and he laughed when he turned around. He's like, told you it was Timothy Leary. I was like, fucking, you're right, dude. That was Timmy Leary and the most eclectic group of people. And ever since then, I've been like, dude, I love groups like that. If you guys ever come out to eat with me, look at the group that I have. You know, I love it mixed. It's the best, you know. The more the merrier, and the weirder and more extreme, it's like even the better. I just love it. It makes it way more fun. So, yeah. So Dice is a character, and I meet some great tribe members on, you guys don't get it. And Charles and I, we talk sometimes, and I tell him the stories, and he's like, dude, you should be recording that. You should be doing videos talking to your people. And so Dice calling in was perfect example, man. This is like, you guys got to sit in on like a little brief synopsis of a call, you know, one of the calls I get during the day sometimes. What's up, Wizard and Tribers? Cheers, Luther. What up, Luth? So long, everyone. I've got chores to do. Right, Dan? See you, buddy. I gotta cut too, man. Look at this, 2 hours and 35 minutes. Who wants to listen to flat frequency response? Not I. Anybody listening to valve amplifiers, this would sound dry and digital as it did to me. It's not how music was recorded. It's a parlor trick. There you go. It's obviously Mike's Jersey Shore cousin. Hey, doing over there? Yeah. Hey, Aussie audiophile, you need a flat for accuracy. Do you need your speakers retuned? Who are you, mate? I've never claimed to be an expert. I'm just working on 40 years of industry, and I don't hide behind a letter. He's having fun, man. Now you're going to get trolled, dude. Anytime you show that and you show a reaction, man, they're going to set the hook, bro. Nick, what is up, brother? Poiple. Awesome phone call. Totally great. Thanks, Kenny. I know who this is. Same guy who hides his name on WhatsApp. Uh-oh. You know who it is. I have no idea. Let's have another phone call, Jay, on Mikey's channel if I get a whole heap of questions to ask you. At Aussie. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm a tuner. Tell the cab driver to meet us at Expona. No doubt, man. He should. If he's listening, if you're listening, Dice, you got to come up. Come to California, come to Chicago. It's got a C in it, doesn't it? Come to Chicago and hang out with us, Dice, for sure. Come and bring your energy, bro. Do it. It's close to Michigan. You can do it, man. We'll pay for your damn cab ride. Perhaps getting speakers that are intended to be more flat if you want flat. I follow what you're saying, Shane. Yeah, I mean, flat is for analysis, in maybe a mixing room. Flat is boring and always was. Right. Oh, I love this guy. Right. They like you, Dice, an Aussie audiophile. If you keep Kef Blades, have you heard Kef Blades best measuring? Man, I missed all the action. Kef says that I need to know about you. Harman Curve for the win. It's proven their blind listening test. People prefer a tilted frequency. Of course they do. It sounds more natural. Right. It does. On axis must be flat. I disagree. Our ears are not flat, homeboy. That's what I was just explaining. Carlos is as cool as hell. Spangle. Man, Spangles get shit. An Aussie audiophile, you're the fellow who is promoting those Rock Fisher bookshelf speakers. Yeah, and I'm the guy who's promoting them too. I'm the U.S. importer. Has your high? Come on, Mikey, Dice, Deborah, and I would like to have you as part of our show. You're the man. Yeah, man, I can feel it. I'm kind of chill. I'm like, feeling no pain. In the 80s, the studios ran a lot of gain, but used way too much compression. I got you. I missed the info on the AA DAC. I got here a little late. How much in Canadian dollars? I don't know what the exchange is right now, but it's 5K USD. Part 2 of the Bach review is coming up on the weekend. Okay, cool. Clapton forgot the 80s. He was so high. No doubt, dude. Heard the AGD on Dante Mark III at the Florida show and really liked it. Priced at $13. Okay, there you go. Looking at upgrade my Bricasti M3. So looking at Meitner AGD or Bricasti M12. I'll compare Meitner and AGD for you. Bricasti comes from recording studio. So I think it's more on the analytical side last time I heard it. So I would be on board better with Meitner or AGD. I can try the AGD and I'll let you know. Yeah, I can try the AGD and let you know. That's a good. I'm glad you said that because you know what? It's been right in front of my face the whole time. This new Mark II, he did change it. It was quite a significant DAC change. So I will listen to it. Cats can hear up to 70K. Imagine how annoying that would be. That would be, dude. We would hear insects. That would be messed up, bro. Just imagine that. Ugh. Tribe, please like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, people. Thanks, audiophiles. That's right. Give a thumbs up and subscribe. Do it now. Do it now. Hey, Mikey from Iowa. A little late tonight, but I'll watch from the beginning. Right on, man. Aloha, Mikey Tribe. What's up, Dan? I would really need my glasses on to read the time. Yeah, for that little clock. All right, watch. 470 amps fit into our music room lounge. Believe that they are a perfect match for room size. I would like a bit more space to the left. Come see if they will fit in your music room. That's right. Come to Kenny. I was the Christopher Ward. It's a minute repeater. Geez, a minute repeater, huh? Okay, I want some of what you're drinking, Luther. Well, I just threw it out. It was 10 milligrams of THC Delta 9. Oh, you looked it up. Beat me to it. What's a minute repeater? I don't know. Audiophile Junkany is bringing some hats. Is he good, man? The Brigade, the Tradition Collection. That's it. That's right. It looks like the Christopher Ward. Oh, a minute repeater. Okay, I got you. Okay, you like the Christopher. Okay, there it goes. Looked it up. Beat me to it. Yes, got it. Yep. Ever pass through South Dakota? Need a system check. I will, bro. Sturgis, I don't go to, man. I'm not a beer drinking Harley dude. I ride a Harley and I ride it fast, but I don't hang with the Sturgis crowd or the Daytona crowd. Just a bunch of hammered people just getting belligerent and shit like that, and not my scene. But the Black Hills are pretty damn cool. Mike drank the soda. I did, man. All of it. What do you think of Martin and Karma speakers? Two very good choices, man. You just pulled two that I actually really like out of the hat. So you hit well, man. You know, good speakers. Those are both very good speakers. They have to be teamed with good electronics. I heard some Karmas the other day with some electronics and they sounded cold and brittle. But if you do Karmas right and you give them proper front end and amp, you can do real good. And Martin is fine cabinetry, bro. That shit is, it's like a yacht, really. So they're beautiful speakers. I haven't listened to them in a while. I'll have to go, and it's hard again. Sometimes you get into rooms and you're like, this rig isn't that great, so I can't really hear the speaker. But typically those are two that I like. I would have to visit them now and compare them to Fisher and Fisher. I'm a little more experienced in box speakers than I ever have been, and the Fisher and Fishers are special. But the finish on Martin is the fit and finish, and the finish, basically the materials are it's like a yacht. It's like a high end yacht. Karma also amazing finishing, so they're really pretty. Yes, left or right, it's all an illusion. Into love and happiness, laughing and growing, learning to be a better man, husband, and human being. Absolutely. Danny said he doesn't want to demo his stuff in a room without acoustic treatment. That's another bullshit, dude. You put acoustic treatment in the room. Okay, look, bro. We all have to okay. That's a pretty loaded statement here. Let's go back and let's look at this. We could look at this many different ways. We could say Danny's equipment isn't good enough to be played without room treatment because he's scared to do it without room treatment. He won't, in fact, he won't even demo it without acoustic treatment. Okay, so he's saying his shit needs acoustic treatment. Otherwise, it sounds fucked up. That's how I read that. Okay. Or I read it as another excuse, like we're too busy, we're sure we can't come. That's like one of those $3 excuses, right? It's not even one that's believable. It's just ishkabibble that people say, fluff shit that just comes out of people's mouth. They don't even think about it, and they expect that you just swallow it and don't question it. If you questioned it, you would say to him, well, dildo, bring frickin' acoustic treatment for the room like the other guys do. That's what we do. We just put shit on the walls. Okay. Yeah, you can't make it perfect, but look, we all have shitty conditions to make a system sound good in. Okay. Show us your licks, boy. Let's see how good you are. I have the same fucked up room to play around with. I will kick your ass. I'm calling you out. You think you can kick my ass? Then prove it. Show up and do it. Okay. That's see if you can get anybody in your room saying on camera, this is the best sound. Just ask people when they walk in that this is the best sound of show. See if you can get David Chesky to come in and ask for a special after hours listening session and then tell you he's never heard shit this natural or that it's so incredibly natural listening to his own recordings that it's like his sweater. I can see every bit of detail, but there's no hard edges. There's no glare. I'm like, Jesus, that's David Chesky saying exactly how I describe Fisher and Fisher speakers. So whatever, I see it as an excuse. That's just a silly, lame excuse. You got to hold people. Look, if we want to make this a better industry, when people give you answers like this, you got to hold their feet to the fire. You owe it to them. You need to say, well, then why don't you put room treatment in the room? And get an answer, man. Don't let these guys just give you this kind of shit. Why wouldn't you put acoustic stuff in the room then? Danny, ask them. You need to have balls, all of you. Have balls when you talk to dealers. Have balls when you talk to manufacturers. And don't worry if it's a stupid question. Their job is to answer all questions. And asking why wouldn't you just put room treatment in the room is a totally natural question. That's what I want to know. Explain that one away. Ziggy Chicago, but he's done shows before. Doesn't matter. I used to fuck 3 girls and keep a heart on. Doesn't matter what you used to could do. I used to. We used to do a lot of shit, bro. Going to go listen to MPD8. Dano, do it, buddy. Do it. I've got one left before August. You want to put your name on it. Can't wait. I'll be in touch to purchase. Okay. If you want to put some down on it just to hold it, I can give you back to you if you change your mind. But these things go. People don't have to think about it. The kind of calls I take for MPD8 are, hi, I watch your channel all the time. I'm thinking about adding an MPD8. Do you have any in stock? Yes, I do. Okay, great. I'd like to order one. That's how the conversation goes. They don't need to think about it. They don't need to hear it. They've already made up their mind that they want it. And I've got one left till August. And it's my own personal unit. It has a little teeny nick on the top from my brass thing came off the foot. And it could be, you could put, I could even put gray marker in there or black marker and then rub over it. And then it wouldn't be it would be even less noticeable, but I have to tell you that, and I'll give you $1,000 off for that. And then it'll have the same warranty as new, and it'll be broken in. You won't have to go through the excruciating break-in period. So it's killer. Awesome show today. We love the vibe. Everything has its own time to be special. Thank you. You bet, man. Thank you. What about Vivid Audio? Other great stuff. It's another one that's good. You just named three of them. 3 box speakers that are very good. Vivid Audio is great stuff. GR Research red flag. I don't know. It could be. It's like if you've got balls, put them out there. You know, if you know how to do it. Look, it's hard to set up in a room. Okay. We all know that. We all have the same shitty ass hotel room to set up in. So who's more badass? Who can drop in like a paratrooper into a fucking room and in 24 hours have it sounding so good that people are saying it's the best sound of show? Can I get a witness? Okay. If you're not willing to do that, you've got no weed in your pipe. You've got no foundation to your pitch, to your soapbox. All you are is hot air at that point. You haven't shown us shit. All you've got is what? People that bought your kit, that didn't go to the show, that whatever trusted in you, and now they're going to give a testimonial. All of us can get testimonials. Of course, we all have people that go to our church, right? We can always have them attest for us. But what is better is to get out and preach it and show that you're badass. But if you can't show that you're badass, then you're not badass. That's the way I look at it. Danny's frightened to show his gear at a whole. We don't know. I mean, either. Okay, so that is very possible. Okay, but we have to be realist. The other possible that he could be a fucking cheapskate. He could be a penny pinching tightwad. And if he is, he doesn't want to spend the money. And he's like, I don't want to spend the money on the show. Okay, he could be broke and can't even afford it, but wants to go. I highly doubt that. What else would be, I mean, there could be anything. Look, dude, he could have a daughter that's graduating from something or whatever. It could be anything. It doesn't matter. But the bottom line is, look, it's in your backyard. You show up and you show your prowess. It's the way I do it, man. I make sure that I show up. I'm happy to eat my words, but I don't think I will be. I'm the same way. Aussie Audiophile, maybe it's too good for the show. That's fucking hilarious. That's never stopped any manufacturer from showing at the High Vibe Shore now. No. I think the reason they won't give you a big room is because you'll win the show every time. Yeah, you start to wonder. You go, okay, so I understand at some of the shows, like the dealer shows. Okay, like Florida, it's run by a dealer. Okay, he's the principal investor guy that puts it on. So he gets all the primetime shit. It's his stuff is pimped more than any because it's his show. Of course it would be. Okay, so it's not in his best interest to have something that makes his brand look not that great, that makes his offering, that shows up his offerings at half the price. It makes no sense. So why would they? And we used to have a guy that came on here that was kind of a pain in the ass, David Cross, that had the same complaint about. And I shouldn't say the same complaint, but he had a complaint because I don't have one. He had a complaint that they were trying to not let him come to the show because his power conditioner was better than the one that they sell at their dealer. Okay. Now I also tend to think the guy has very potential delusions of grandeur because he talks about himself very highly and that his stuff is magical, but he can't show it. And I can't come to his place and I can't listen because whatever, he's got to be hidden from the government or whatever, because he's too special. It's like, okay, whatever. But so you begin to question it. You begin to ask, but more often than not, at a regular show, like a third party, like Expona is not a dealer show, meaning a dealer doesn't have any interest in it. He's not making any money from the show and making money from the shit he's pimping at the show, which is like double dipping, right? It's like conflict of interest. Well, certain shows are not run by dealers like Expona, and then they don't care, and the only reason they don't have big rooms is because the same people snap them up year after year. Like if you get a big room, you have to let it go in order for someone else to get it. So it's like somebody has to die for you to be able to be the boss, right? Like they have to give up their damn room that year and then you can get one. But I think next year they're going to open some more big rooms at Dallas. So I might be able to get one, but typically it's the same good old boys that get the big rooms. Vac, von Schweikert, Acora, Audio Research, Borison, YG Acoustics, or what's the other one? Estalon. Just it's the same old guys. Wilson, Focal, they get the big rooms. Not Focal so much anymore. And I haven't seen Wilson's at a show in a while, actually. They'll be at Expona, I'm sure. Well, then if you want to call Danny out, why don't you invite him and ask him? Ask him for what? Why don't you do a video on him so he can do a video in response? For what reason, though? Like, why? Just to tease him? He's got a different audience than I do. Like, he doesn't even sell to the same people I do. So he's not my competition. He's just somebody that talks a lot on YouTube. And, I'd like to hear his shit to see if it's all worth the talk, because he's a talker. So, and so am I. I'm not saying I'm not. I am a talker too. Absolutely. But I back my mouth up with results, like at a show. So, whatever, but I don't need to engage. It's not, again, there's no reason. It's like, how can I best make a metaphor for this? It's like, I'm a bull with like a herd of cows. No, maybe that's not good. Sucking on my teat. It's like, I don't know. It's two different markets. Danny is with DIYers and kit guys, which are not my dudes. My dudes don't want to do it themselves. They're the exact opposite. They get in contact with me because they don't want to fuck with it. They don't even want to learn it. Like, they're on the outside of it looking in going, I want a badass system, but I need somebody that I can just trust. It's like me with, let's say trimming my trees outside. Okay. I'm not going to go on YouTube or onto the internet and study for weeks to find out about arboring and how to prune trees. I'm going to call an arborist and he's going to come over and I'm going to let him do it because he's been to school. He's a professional. He does this shit every day. And if he's got a company worth of shit, he probably knows what he's talking about. So I'm going to hire somebody. So I'm that type of person. And that's the type of person that comes to me. Danny is the do-it-yourselfer. He's the guy that says, well, fuck that. I can do it myself. I don't need to pay anybody else for that. I can do it myself. And it's a total different mindset. It's a different person, a different psychology, whatever. People, they're just different people. So to do a collab with him just wouldn't make sense. I don't really seek to understand. And besides, I've talked with Danny on the phone, on text messages back and forth, and been like, and the way that he talks, I'm like, I don't really want to talk to this guy. I'd rather just ignore him. It's just one of those things, like arguing with, like left and right, getting into an argument, right? Like, they're not going to find common ground. At least on one side, they're not. Well, it's like, I kind of feel the same way. It's like, it's a useless conversation. It's just going to go around in circles, and I'm not going to kowtow, or kowtow or whatever, bow down and like, be like, oh yeah, you're a badass dude, and talk to him like I'm an underling or some shit like that. I'm going to be like, dude, I don't think you're God. That's what I told him. I said, I don't think you're speaker God, bro. Like you think. Okay, that's no big deal. Like, you can do whatever you want, but I don't think you're the shit, and you seem to think you are. So all the power to you, But if you could do it better than Wilson, then why don't you? And I called him out on his video that he did where he can fix the Wilson and make it much better, and talked about how messed up Wilson was, and they did everything wrong, and there's all these things, and you're like, but he's not the designer of the speaker. He has no idea why they designed it that way. So, I don't really like the dude. Like I said, I don't really like the character he plays. I don't know if the man himself is different, but I don't like his character. His character rubs me the wrong way. So it's like a cactus. I don't want to come up to it. I will go ahead and listen to his shit if it's at a show. So, and then so I can give him the benefit of the doubt, because maybe I could say, okay, shit, now I see why he talks as big as he does, because he kicks ass at speaker design. This is some good shit. Then I would give him respect, And so I want I am open to the mind of giving him respect if I hear his speakers, but I'm not going to go out of my way to bring him onto my channel to talk with him just because he's prickly, man. He's not on my wavelength. We don't vibrate. We don't resonate. When we talk, it's like oil and water. We don't mix. Like our words don't even freaking vibe. They grind on each other. We don't resonate. So there's no reason for me to try. And I know immediately if I resonate with people, the second they send me an email and they communicate, I can see by the tone of the email and how they're talking to me, like there's no vibration. And then other people talking, there's vibration. You're like, there's sympathetic resonation. You're like, okay, the energy's vibe. So, but not with him, but I would still give his product a chance. I'm not really willing to toss it out. I'd say, out of fairness to you guys more than anything, I'd say, let me go listen. Ishkabibble. I would love some THC drink now. Ishkabibble, very good. I know, man. It's good, dude. I want to go back and get some more. They're fucking expensive though. I think they were $7 each. That shit is bullshit. $7? I don't think it's a $7 high right now. I mean, I feel pretty good, but I guess it'd be a tough call. It did kind of improve my mood a little bit, I guess. If they're good, so good, wouldn't you make the money back tenfold in sales? If they were, yeah, then I'd sell them. Oh, I just noticed your mic is on the other side. Helps heaps better. Yeah. I brought it in closer, off to the side. It couldn't get close enough. Okay, goddamn, it's 3 hours. Danny makes a lot of money off his business. How do you know? He's not broke. Never said he was. He's probably richer than you are doing what he does. That's the gayest shit I've heard all day. Dude, bravo. You just won the gayest fucking shit ever said on my Steam. He's probably richer than you are. Oh my God. That's fucking hilarious. Sounds like a corrupt government. Yeah, again, it's like, can you guys tell, like, even this guy that's a Danny fanboy that's talking here, he doesn't even vibe. He doesn't even vibe. Like, this guy is not tribe members. He's not tribe vibration. Can you tell? Can you see how he's an outsider? Can you feel it, And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him. He can be here. I'm not going to, get rid of him. But you can just tell it's not our vibe. He's got a Danny vibe. This is a Danny dude. So, that your posse is with Danny, not with us. It's not, you're not, that's just, you sound like you're immature because what you just said makes you sound like you are in your 20s and immature. Okay. Yeah, right. Exactly. Good services understand the service industry. Yes. He is greater than anyone else, a legend in his own lunchtime. Again, very happy to be proven wrong. Yeah, Danny says that he already designs for high-end speaker companies secretly. Yes, he loves to say that. And you know what? I called Magnapan because he tries to indicate that he worked for Magnapan. Okay, he says it without saying it. He tries to hint that he works for Magnapan in my email. And I called Magnapan and said, "Have you guys ever done anything with Danny Ritchie? Has he ever done anything?" And the guy that works in back said, "Not that I've been here, and I've been here, I think 12 years. He said, and I don't know of anything to do with Danny Ritchie, So, and he claims to have worked for Polk Audio. Whoop-de fucking do, and whatever, not saying they're not high grossing companies, right? But for audiophiles, there's, it's not audiophile. It's like I work for PSB is I'm sure better, but whatever, if he were the shit, okay, we all know this, then he would make a design that kills everything else because he would be better. He would save his best shit for himself and we would hear it and he would show it. I can just find somebody. Did somebody say Jason? Oh, Jason's in Houston. Anybody that's got a Danny pair of speakers, just tell me. I'll come to your place. I'm not going to go to Danny's. I'll go to somebody where if somebody else is nearby, I can come and listen to him. LOL again, secretly bullshit. Yes. Please stop, bro. Right? Totally. So there's a clash of ego then. Very possibly. Very possibly. Yep. That could be. Maybe I'm a boss and maybe he's a boss and maybe we don't like each other. I went out to Danny's and heard his reference systems. It was pretty impressive. I will still be buying Fisher from OCD. There you go. Thanks, Brad. I appreciate that. Says a lot. Did you come? I can't remember if you came by here and listened to Fisher or not, or if you're just going on what you've heard, which would be even more impressive. We all know who this guy is. I don't know. You think it's Jason? Is that what the J is? You think it's Jason? It seems like that's who you think it is. But I don't know. I mean, do you guys really like hide behind like shit and not even stand for yourself? That would be really funny if that was true, Shane. I mean, I can't think. Jason, if it's Jason, if it's you, just say it's you. You know, I don't think it's Jason. Because he would just come on as Jason, wouldn't he? Or he'd come on as Audiophile Junkie and fucking pitch his goddamn channel. I wouldn't care. Anyways, I got to go, man. 3 hours and 5 minutes. Thanks everybody for joining. I will see you. I'm going to be on the road. I may not be able to do a Sunday. I'll do a Sunday live stream from the road. It'll just be on my phone. And so, I can't take call-ins while I'm on the road, but, everybody, thanks for joining and I will see you on Sunday. See you.